Absolutely. Bang! And there it is, right on cue.
How's that? Less straight to Davis. How good was that?
We about to make a ground. We've got to make this count. Take the ball and raise it now. Make noise crazy loud. It's all moment, let me hear.
Jake Tucker's taken off.
Outstanding. Glenunga certainly have a great
Troop, you're an outstanding man. Well done. Congratulations on the flag.
Oh,
a bin chicken.
Your 2024 premiers, the Port District Football Club. Congratulations, you legends. You are the best team.
What has happened at Glenunga? The Rams in 2025 in their home territory have been absolutely under siege. They're 0-3, and coming up against them next is Golden Grove. They themselves are 3-3 in season 2025, and with wins against Broadview and Payneham Norwood Union in recent weeks, can the Kookaburras continue to fly high? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. With massive thanks to our sponsors, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. With thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
Galano in the pocket.
It's going to be a fantastic day for football. I'm joined, as always, by the one and only Adam Jeffries. Adam, how are you?
Yeah, it's a great day. A beautiful spring day again. The cap's on. She's quite warm, so it should be a good afternoon for football.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be. Let's start with the home team, 1-5 in season 2025, 0-3 here. What can we expect from them today?
Yeah, we weren't anticipating that pre-season, were we? We watched them last week at Port Districts. They tried their guts out all day, but they just don't seem to have the talent on the park that they've had the last couple of years. But I still think they can get a little monkey off the back and get a win today. It'll be interesting to see how they go.
And Golden Grove flying in recent weeks, beating the relegated threatened Broadview and Payneham Norwood Union. Well, again, what can we expect from them?
Yeah, they need a scalp, don't they? Huge win last week at home against Payneham. Well done to them, the type of performance that I think Golden Grove are capable of, and they're capable of coming here to win. They're probably the only team outside the top 5 that can potentially make it. They lose today, they're 2 games behind, so it's a big game for them as well.
Absolutely, it is. Any ground conditions, anything we need to be aware of? Weather's shining, obviously, but anything else?
Oh, sunburn's the biggest worry for the players today. Absolutely glorious conditions today. I said it a few weeks ago at Sacred Heart Dinner, if you can't get a kick today, you probably should not be playing Division 1 football. So it'll be a great contest, both teams desperate to win, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, stay tuned. After this break, we'll be back inside the broadcast van for plenty more footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New Hyoketsu, vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt. right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Yes, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what is going to be an absolutely fantastic day of football between Glenunga and Golden Grove. My name is Lachlan Gould. I'm joined, as always, in commentary by Adam Jeffries. Adam, how are you?
Yeah, very, very well. Looking forward to this this contest.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game of footy. Something we're really excited about. Obviously, one team at the wrong end of the ladder, really struggling. 1-5 Glenunga. Golden Grove hanging around the middle, 3-3. But if they do slip, they do fall 2 games outside the 8. Makes life really, really difficult for them.
Yeah, it's a big game for both teams, isn't it? You know, Glenunga just want to get a win, get some confidence going, get their season going, get themselves out of this relegation zone, which they wouldn't be terrified of just yet. But if they keep losing, it's going to become a bit of a battle for them, isn't it? So, yeah, big game for both teams today. And if Golden Grove are serious about playing finals, they need to come here and win games against teams that have only won 1 game. So it's going to be a really good contest.
Yeah, of course, has not won since round 2 Glenunga when they go over the top of Ross Trevor. There are a couple of missed opportunities for Rocks in that game as well. They could be another team that was sitting 0-6. As it is, they are 1-5 heading into today's contest. Start at the top of the ladder, Sacred Heart. They're flying at the minute. 6 wins from 6. Port Districts and St. Peter's are a game behind them. Salisbury North, Ross Trevor, Golden Grove, all in amongst it. And then obviously Prince Alfred, Glenunga, the teams still that have some wins, but a lot of work to do for them as well. And Payneham, Broadview yet to get their first wins in 2025.
I remember saying to you early in the season, Lockie, it normally takes till about round 6 and the ladder just starts to take a bit of shape. And it certainly has now, isn't it? For me, there's a clear top 5 with Golden Grove hanging around the fringes. And for mine, the bottom 4, you know, if you go 7, 8, 9... Prince Alfred, Glenunga, Payneham are probably concerned about that relegation potentially, aren't they? Prince Alfred have the extra win on the board. Broadview, we know where they're at. Although Broadview's last couple of weeks for mine have been a little bit more improving, and you can see their percentage isn't far off Payneham. So, yeah, it's a tight ladder in Division 1 as it always is.
Just on that then, and I'm gonna ask this question, then we'll get into Glenunga's recent seasons. Who's got more promise, Broadview or Payneham Norwood Union at the minute?
Payneham have a little bit more talent on the park, don't they? Not expecting to be where they're at. Broadview are probably expecting to be in that position, aren't they? So, but there's still a lot of footy to be played. 12 games. You're probably going to have to win 4 or 5 games to stay out of relegation, knowing that Broadview may only win 1 or 2. So, yeah, a couple of teams look a long way off that 4 or 5 wins as well, don't they? So, yeah, it's a tight competition. They'll need to get some upsets as we come into the winter.
So obviously we have a look at Glenunga's recent forms. 2022 there was no 2020 there was no relegation in Division 2. They ended up finishing runners up, first on the ladder, but runners up overall in 2021 in Division 2. That then earned them automatic promotion into Division 1. They finished 3rd that season in 2022. Then in 2023, runners up, as well as in 2024. Been to the big dance in the last 2 years. You'd struggle to see them getting there again. But maybe they have ruined their best chance of getting a grand final win.
Pretty amazing run from the 2021 season through to 2024. Only lost a handful of games over those 4 seasons, but unluckily lost 3 grand finals. Formidable team here at Webb Oval. But they looked last week, Lockie, didn't they? They looked like that team that's, you know, almost looked over the mountain, couldn't quite get there, slipped back down, and they like, oh, we got to go all the way back to the top of the mountain. They just look tired, don't they? Like I said, so... but they'll come into today with plenty of confidence. But yeah, they've been a formidable team for the last 4 seasons. So you can't begrudge where they're at this year, and there's still a lot of footy to be played.
And the team that has secured back-to-back promotions in 2022 and 2023. So 2023, they finished first. There was a premiership, no promotion. Then obviously back in Division 3, they finished second. To see the umpires start to come out onto the ground. Going to be a great game from them as well. They always do an excellent job, don't they? As we also have a look at Glenunga starting to come out onto the ground as well. How hungry will they be now? Obviously, we mentioned last week it wasn't about revenge, it was just getting the win. They fell short against Port Districts. Is this one now just any win will do?
They weren't far off last week. Out at Largs is a tough assignment, isn't it? Port Districts are up and about again this year. They're only a couple of points down at 3/4 time, weren't they? They had a good third quarter, but they just had no run in the last quarter. Had a couple of injuries, only 4 inside 50s in the last quarter when we thought they were coming home with the breeze and could have snatched the win. So, but they may be, down a little bit on personnel. Maybe they're playing players that aren't quite in the same fitness bracket as they were the last couple of seasons. But that's okay. If they play a similar style as they did at Port Districts last week and hit the scoreboard a little bit more regularly, they can get the job done today against a team that is capable of kicking a high score in Golden Grove.
Here they come, Golden Grove. Speaking of them, it's going to be a big game for them as well. They desperately need to win this one. Otherwise, they do. We run the risk of already having a pretty solid 5 inside the first sort of 7 rounds of the season if they don't get over the line today.
Yeah, if Ross Trevor win and Golden Grove do lose, a 2-game and a little percentage buffer is hard to make up. Like, you've really got to get on a winning run. It's not out of the realms, but 4-3 feels better than 3-4, doesn't it, Lockie?
Yeah, of course. Glenunga having a look at their team today. A couple of changes for them as well. Agar and Marini fall out. Coming in is Ryan Marini and Zach Smith. Smith's a big one to come back in.
Yeah, Zach Smith's one of my favourite defenders in the whole competition. I think he's incredibly versatile, can play on talls and smalls. And they probably missed him a little bit last week, didn't they? Good to have him back. They've still got plenty of talent on the park, though, haven't they? They're not as deep as they were in the last couple of seasons, but they've still got some really, really good players out there. Again, we'll talk about the big fella, Rabe Davis. He certainly didn't look fit last week, did he? Look like he's playing with an injury, and his team needs him to be playing. But let's see how he goes today. Hopefully he's freshened up on the track. Maybe he can have an impact back at full forward. They tried to play more on ball and a bit of ruck last week. Didn't quite work, but they need someone to bob up with 4 or 5 goals. Perhaps he can do that for them.
Yeah, it'd be really, really nice for them if they're able to, find something through that key talisman, obviously. Back-to-back league best and fairest medal winners as well. So if he does fire back up, that'd be lovely for them. Golden Grove, couple of changes for them. Robinson and Ingram come in. Massive out that broke about 10 minutes before the game. Cameron Shenton did not make the trip down here today. He's out. And Lachlan Giles also falls out of the team as well. So a couple of late changes. What do you make of Shenton being gone?
Yeah, it's a bit of a loss. Obviously, a guy that's played AFL football, you want him in your team. He's a key cog. He's a versatile player now, Shenton, as well. I've known him as a really good defender. They've been playing him as a midfielder at times as well. So he's a big out. But that's okay. They've got plenty of depth, haven't they? And they've got tremendous firepower in the front half, haven't they? We saw Pascoe kick a big 9 goals last week. He had 20 kicks from full forward and 10 marks. So that's a day out in Division 1. You don't often get big bags like that. So well done to Pascoe on the big 9. And we haven't really seen Verity fire up this year. He's been solid with a few 2 and 3 goal games. He's a guy that's kicked big bags in the lower division for Modbury. So it'll be interesting to see if they put a bit of work into Pascoe, whether Verity can pop up. We know that Glenn's a really good player. We know that Pittman's a really good on-baller. Aidan Thatcher's another one of my favourite defenders as well. He's an unsung hero at full back. So they've got plenty of talent on the park, Golden Grove. They were a little bit disappointing in the first month of the season, I thought, but just the last couple of weeks, like the big win against Payne, would have given them a heap of confidence, and they'll be feeling pretty good as they warm up right now.
Well, I can tell you as well, Pittman is staring right down the barrel of a new high-five e-bike at the end of the year. Of course, a $5,000 e-bike given away to the player of the year. He might be the one that gets to pick it up in a minute. Yeah,
he's a vote getter, isn't he? Probably because he's their prime on baller. When they have good wins, and he's gathered 30. I think he had 28 disposals again last week. He's always going to be a consistent midfielder right under the umpires. So he's going to get plenty of votes, isn't he? He's a good player.
Yeah, he always does. He is a really, really phenomenal player. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens out there today. We asked you around ground conditions. Anything changed since we were out on ground before?
Nah, it's perfectly still. We've had windy days here at Glenunga. The only thing for me is Glenunga's just a pretty tight, smaller oval. And when you're going to the left, you are kicking slightly down the hill. So you can see players kick the ball easily from 50-metre arc, going to left of screen. And it's just a slight uphill kick going to the right.
Previous meetings, round 15, 2024, these two teams played finals, did not clash with each other during them. 8-12, 120, 10-8, 68. It was Glenunga too strong that day. Round 6, 2024, it was 13-10, 88 to 12, 10, 82. And then round 14, 2019, the last time these two teams were in Division 1 together. It was a great win for Glenunga as well. Making his way out into the middle there is Pittman, but he's without his opposition number. Abe Davis is still taking some kicks, doing some run-throughs, and should be making his way over shortly.
Like I said, on a still day, the coin toss not as prevalent as other weeks. We saw a windy day last week, didn't we, where you want to win that toss and kick with the breeze, just on the pure factor that the wind can die down as the day goes on. But today is a perfectly still, nice, warm autumn day.
Coin toss goes up. And there we go. Abe Davis looks to have won that one. So he's pointed that
I
one.
think Pittman might have called that and they've gone to the left.
There we go. Okay,
left
cool.
of the dial.
I thought they both seem to have pointed then. That's all right. So there we go. Pittman is
Both captains, it didn't land on a head or a tail, landed on its side and both pointed to the left. So we'll see where they end up. I think Golden Grove will end up kicking to the left of your screen.
There we go. Big, well, not a massive result there. Of course, have a look at the round 7 fixture. Glenunga taking on Golden Grove. Obviously, we're here. Prince Alfred against Port Districts. Let's get a quick tip from yourself for that one, Adam.
Yeah, home game for Prince Alfred, but a tough assignment against Port Districts, isn't it? Port Districts should win by 4 or 5 goals.
Payneham Norwood Union and Broadview Tigers.
Ooh. Surely Payneham have got to get that first win on the board today, don't they? If they can't beat Broadview at home, there will be some questions asked. Disappointing last week. But Payneham, Broadview improved the last 2 weeks, much more competitive, but Payneham by 3 or 4 goals.
Ross Trevor and Sacred Heart. Ross Trevor match up better than anybody against Sacred Heart in the league, I think. Does that sway your tip?
Yeah, I think Ross Trevor can, especially with the game being at Campbelltown on their home ground, I think they can probably win that game. You know, the old adage, Sacred Heart is 6-0, you're probably getting closer to a loss, aren't you, the more you keep winning. So, yeah, Ross Trevor would be a mini upset, but not a crazy upset if they got up by a couple of goals and consolidated their spot in the top 5.
Salisbury North St. Peter's.
I anticipate Salisbury North at home. I'm impressed with Salisbury North. I think they're a really well-drilled footy team and I expect them to play finals. But St. Peter's, well done to them, 5-1, looking the goods. That should be a really good game. Maybe just the home ground advantage tips it in Salisbury North's favour for mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep an eye on them through the day.
Yeah, of course we will. At halftime, we'll update you as well. Embrace now. Where's this game won, Adam?
Oh, it's the firepower that Golden Grove have. It's a small oval, so both teams will get inside 50. But the Golden Grove forward line is so much more potent than the Glenunga forward line at the moment. So Glenunga are going to have to really win the midfield battle and have high level of inside 50 numbers, because if the inside 50s are equal through the day, Golden Grove will win the match. Might have called it wrong. Looks like Golden Grove are heading to the right of your screen and Glenunga are heading to the left. Bit of confusion at the coin toss there, Lockie. But yeah, it's about Glenunga have to turn on an old school defensive display, aren't they? With pressure, get the ball inside 50 and find a winner up at full forward. Abe Davis is starting at full forward, which I like that move on this smaller oval. Just get the ball in long and strong to him, see if he can get him off to a good start. As the Glenunga defenders, it'll be interesting to see if Smith goes to Pascoe. That'll be a great matchup if that occurs.
Here we go, in the middle. Massive thank you to all of our sponsors, which we will roll through as the quarter begins. But this is going to be absolutely mad. This is going to be a great game of footy. West, Robinson, one of the ins. He's going to do battle first. Ball goes up and we are away. Adelaide Footy League 2025. Ball spills out the top and there's Faye. He hand passes it back. This ball goes inside forward 50. High long circling football for Wonky. Picked up, collected, turned and snapped. Got it forward from Thompson. All rolling towards the boundary line and it's getting close to that line. It does in the end up going over and out.
Never easy going back to the flight, but I thought Opperman was in the prime position there to take the mark. Would have been a great start for Glenunga. Great centre clearance to get them going, though.
Yeah, it is. It's inside their forward line, which is all you can ask for, really, from the centre bounce. Going to leave your forwards to do some of the work. Ball comes back in. Davis taps it down. Collected at the fall of the ball, though. Golden Grove trying to get it moving forward. Picked up, snap. DeSero was there, and it's across the face. Not quite for him on this occasion. But they do end up with the first score of the day, and it is 1 behind, plays nothing yet.
See what Golden Grove do on their kickouts. Traditionally, they like to maintain possession, but on the smaller oval and their big, tall forwards, they might be able to go long and strong, get a contest.
Rolling out, and the kick is nearly up towards the wing, bouncing footy over the top, collected, turning quickly as Temi. He then turns and puts it back inside forward 50. It's going to be an intercept mark. Look it back across. Dodd's got the footy here. Dodd then turns. Gets it across towards Dobie. Dobie. Oh, mark taken. Carlo Vasitis on the wing. Able to intercept over the top of Banwell. Sends it back inside forward 50. Flyers emerge. Ball comes back down. Faye's there tracking it. Collects it. Sidesteps. Gives the hand pass off. Davis tells DeSera to get it inside forward 50. That's where it goes. Interceptors at the back though. Horskins was waiting. And he was able to take a good mark. Out towards the outer side goes the kick. Banwell doing battle with Carlo Vasitis. That'll be an interesting battle. Simon gets it and he then flicks it forward. And still, they continue to scrap. Able to get a clearance there was Glenunga. And the ball ends up going over and out.
Good start for Glenunga, 3 inside 50s. Golden Grove haven't been able to penetrate past halfway, but they need to take advantage of these, don't they? Score an early goal and really get their confidence up. Been a bit unlucky, those snaps inside 50 have just landed with Golden Grove thus far.
Yeah, again, great game of footy to start. Interesting look, of course. Both teams are going to have their chances today because of the dimensions of Webb Oval, and both teams are obviously elite movers of the football. Ball comes back in. Towards the defender who was tracking back and ended up over the line. We throw him back in. Because the major sponsors: Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by RTC, High Five E-Bike, Startfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. So the Archie sponsor come up. I can confirm they are very, very good. I've got a pair of Archies at home myself. Meantime, ball tracks towards the back. Pittman then gives it back, then gives it and gets it again. Ooh, that kick was dangerous. It worked out okay, though. And the mark was taken. Flicked up there towards Xanthopoulos.
Because this oval is so tight, Lockie, all the teams like to maintain possession. It's hard to find those little pockets of space, and inevitably they'll have to come along to a contest here.
Still they wait, and Xanthopoulos a little worm burner along the ground. No one was able to pick that one up. Wonky, he's tackled, and Pittman was trying to plead his case.
Surprised Golden Grove in that instance don't go long to their tall forwards. I know they want to maintain possession, but they've got a real aerial dominance. Or at the very least, they'll get a soft drop as Glenunga go inside 50 for a 5th time.
Faye, I think he's been on the end of about 3 of those kicks inside. Abe Davis was there waiting down. Opperman missed. That could have been the start, but it is 2 behinds. Plays yet to score on the Kieran Hayo-Ketsu scoreboard.
It's almost a bit of volleyball there from Abe Davis, wasn't he? Knew he couldn't take the mark, but he palmed it down to the guy front and centre. Opperman, again, wasted opportunity. 5 inside 50s to 0 to start this match.
Long, high kick out towards a packer. 2-on-1. Blades was there. He's still fighting. Able to get it and just walk out of the stoppage, really. There's Dodd. He then gets a hand pass across. Centre of the ground. Golden Grove moving well. Outside towards Banwell. He then picks it up. Turning, floating kick. Should be intercepted and is Dragarkis. Gets the footy back from where it came. And Wonky was leading at the ball. Was always going to take that one. He almost demanded it in the end. Kick came off hands. Banwell at the back. And they're going to hold that one up. Umpire hugs himself and says, I'll have that one back, gentlemen. No.
No, we've got a free kick just over the shoulder.
Banwell then found his player in McKelvey. McKelvey had a really good game a couple of weeks back. As the footy's then hand passed. And they're dancing with it on the boundary line. Picked up by Carvalho. He then rolls it forward. Pilkington, what can he do? Drilling ball inside. Still a 2-on-1 here. The numbers quickly arriving. The umpire says that one's a dead heat.
It's a great mark by Wonky. One they'd love to have that back though. Abe Davis 1-on-1 inside 50. Couldn't get it to him. Now the ball's deep inside 50 for Golden Grove, their first entry of the game.
Ball falls down. Collected. Parsons. He then quickly turns. Nearly gets it out from where it came. At half back. Glenunga able to release a couple of runners. Ball then taps back. Wonky took a couple of moments to make a decision. Gave the hand pass across. Opperman might be going for his second, but Abe Davis is there. Arriving quickly is Smith. Davis, Smith. Weren't able to quite make a connection. Snapped out, and it's across the face. Didn't register a score at all from Bayun.
Great pressure there by the Golden Grove fullback on Abe Davis. Looked like they had the outnumber. It was Ethan Smith, wasn't it? Who played so well early last week. Could have got the opening goal, but great pressure.
And then back, Valio. And the ball tunnels through everybody. Waiting at the back, though, were Glenunga to restart this again. Mike Lanny, he's involved. And pass goes back, Temi. Temi then turns and puts it up for his Flyers. Well, then falls down. Simon was there. Tackle laid. Still with Simon. Simon was able to flash some speed and get it towards the outer side. Verity working a long way from where he'd like to be. He then drills up a pass. Banwell, long way out, turns. Out towards Pascoe, and he's coming off a 9 in the second half last week. So he's having some games of football, really.
That was a brilliant transition by Golden Grove. This is what happens, 6 inside 50s for Glenunga. They haven't been able to score. Golden Grove with one passage play. It was Verity's kick where he lowered his eyes, went to centre half forward. Pascoe read that and doubled back into the space in the pocket. And chock full of confidence, isn't he, Lockie? He should put this through.
Let's see what he does. Pascoe on the approach to start well. Kicks, gun barrel straight. That's going into the hills and beyond. First goal of the day goes the way of Golden Grove. And it's Lockie Pascoe. Who else, really, after last week's performances?
Yeah, just a couple of crisp passes, wasn't it, after the turnover at centre half forward for Glenunga. The ball's gone, bang, bang. Like I said, it was Verity that came up to the wing, playing as that centre half forward, creating plenty of space for Pascoe in behind him. But he drilled a low pass into centre half forward. Like I said, it was great forward craft by Pascoe. Read that and immediately led backwards and sideways to the pocket. Good play by Golden Grove and a good goal to start the day.
Don't mind that, having a look at the kid on the scoreboard. Always good to see them being used manually nowadays. Well, then works its way towards Pittman. Oh, bang! Big collision in the centre of the ground. Pittman almost drove his opponent into the dirt. Umpire said play on. Glenunga able to get it inside forward 50. Ball falls down. DeSera's there. Little worm burner burning and over. Punched over though. Dobie. The player who concedes and make sure that make sure that Golden Grove keep their lead intact. Footy then flicked into the back pocket. And still Golden Grove working their way forward. Almost on a journey of indecision then, as he got it out towards the wing. Ball then falls down. Stopped almost cleverly then from Robinson. Still he fights on, and umpire says that one's going to be...
It's better play by Golden Grove. They can't use those short 45s on this small, tight deck. They've gone long to Slater, got a soft ball drop and a ball up on the wing rather than a turnover in their defensive 50. Abe Davis now in the ruck.
And let's see, they keep moving him around, trying to unlock the big bear. Had a quietish season and he's looking a little bit sore to get up there. Advantage is the call. Inside forward 50 it goes. Well, then falls down Carlo Vasitas. He's able to get it started in terms of a clearance. Abe Davis about to arrive quickly. Well, then falls down Dodd. Gets it forward. Pilkington. And towards Pascoe. No, was he taken out of the contest illegally? Umpire's blowing a whistle. That would suggest yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay of that, but it looked like a clear drag down in the marking contest for mine.
Here we go,
well done by our producer. Yep, that's not really a play on the ball, is it? It's a play on the man, so he had to pay that. Tricky shot for goal, now down in the pocket. Does he go the Chanana, Lockie, or does he step out on his left, or try the drop punt and thread the needle?
See, number of questions to be answered here as Lockie Pascoe lines himself up. And he's doing a real number on his opponent so far. Can he add a second goal to his name? That one where he's making the umpire work a little bit too much and ends up out of bounds on the full. It's going to come back into play. So Glenunga, what can they do? Up against it a little bit. They've had their moments, Glenunga, putting with the ball in the back pocket. They've had their moments, the Rams, so far in this game, but Golden Grove, where it counts, been able to capitalise the most. Ball then out towards the pack that was forming. All coming over the top. Not able to quite take a mark, though. Ball falls back down. Fired back. Long high ball from Marini. And Marini's footy was nearly intercepted. Not quite, though, from Ingram. And still they scrap and the ball ends up over the boundary line. Umpire to get it started again. Throw us back in.
7 inside 50s to 4 still in Glenunga's favour. And they've had both centre clearances as well. So they just need a settling goal, don't they, Glenunga? They're in this contest. Just like to get the next one, get some confidence going.
That'll be most pleasing for Alex Guy as well. They're in the contest. They were in the contest last week. They've been in a lot of the contests of the games they've lost. The ball nearly works its way out. West to Sarah. Umpire's blowing a whistle.
I think he called a throw. Might have chopped the arm there, caused him to throw the ball. So relieving free kick for Golden Grove.
Footy now about to come back on again. Long inside forward 50. Pasco's the danger man. He's there. He was able to get to the fall of the ball. Still with Pasco. This time he might turn assist as the ball goes back inside forward 50. Banwell. It's bouncing away from him. Arriving quickly and getting it over the line. Was the player in... that's going to be Brooks for Glenunga.
Just as I said pre-match, Lockie, they just look more dangerous going inside 50, don't they, Golden Grove? You know, it's a pretty even battle around the ball. But they just look like they'll score when they go in Golden Grove.
Back in. And Glenunga trying desperately to make sure that's not the case. And to almost get it out. And now they've got some run. Through the centre of Webb Oval they go. Bouncing ball. Collected. Parsons puts it out in front of Smith. Footy, it's a crawl game. Bounce went away from Smith. But it worked out okay for DeSera. And he gets the, well, I guess kind of the equalising goal early. 1 goal apiece, 1 goal, 2 plays, 1 straight 6.
Great speed there by DeSera, wasn't it? It was a clever play. They had the open paddock. It looked like Ethan Smith was going to run onto it. Got one of those horrible football bounces where it just went back over his head. But DeSera was there with tremendous speed. Well done to Glenunga. Good defending, coast to coast on this small oval just by winning contest. Game on.
1 goal, 2 plays, 1 goal, 6. Of course, that's on the Kieran Hayu Ketsu scoreboard. Hello, yes. Thanks to the Kieran Hayu Ketsu scoreboard. Hello, yes. Back in the middle, West, Robinson. Ball comes back out, West. High football, and well, that's an easy intercept mark if you're a defender. So Golden Grove to start off half back again. Footy back inside. Verity turns and kick might work its way out towards Robinson. Robinson then picks it up. Has Dodd, who came sprinting in from the corner of your screen. He's then wrapped up in a really, really nice tackle by Redmond. Of course, brother of Essendon's Mason, who's doing some great things in the AFL.
Really good tackle there. Dropped to his knees, didn't get in his back. Well done.
Yeah, technique was 100% right, and the umpire rewarded him with a ball up. Comes back down, and plenty of advice not to drag it in coming from the bench. The umpire says that one's mine. We'll try this one more time.
One-on-ones all over the park, Lockie. No spare defenders at either end.
Glenunga played a contested game of footy last week as West gets it out. His ball then is marked by DeSera. DeSera, that long launching kick inside forward 50. Davis.
That's Glenunga football, isn't it? You know, the coast to coast, you know, you can get the ball at half back and just wheel and get the ball inside 50. And he finally got Abe Davis in a one-on-one that he wanted. And the big fella just protected the drop zone pretty easily there in the end. It's an easy mark for a player of his calibre. And typically, he's a pretty good set shot from this range. He'll kick it onto the roof here, Lockie.
Is today the day that marks the return of Abe Davis? He's been absent in a lot of Glenunga's moments this season. So he's able to do. Kick is about to come. He's got a long run up, Abe Davis. He kicks it from the brink of 50 and sends it straight over the goal umpire's head. He's back, the big bear.
Yeah, that's a good goal for Glenunga to get. That's exactly what they need. Like I said, plenty of pressure down back, keeping their 6 forwards ahead of the ball. Quick kick out of the pack, and it was DeSera again, wasn't he? He was the last goal scorer. He's the one that wheeled around, and he kicked it beautifully to the advantage side. You could see what side the defender was on, Big Davis, and he just made sure the ball hit that side. All Abe Davis had to do was just use his strength and hold him. Took an easy chest mark, and a great set shot for goal from about 45 metres. Good football by Glenunga.
Back in the centre we go. 2-3 plays 1-6. Then comes back down West. There might have been a free kick, and it was, going the way of Golden Grove.
It's a bit unlucky there, West. It's just the sheer size of the man. He got him high there with the right decision.
Slater flicks it out wide towards the broadcast position here in the Adelaide Footy League filming broadcast van. Well, then comes down. And that's going to be a ball up. BTR Excavations Adelaide Footy League action brought to you on Filming Footy. 109 points. The way the Rams have they've certainly fired the first punch. Ball then tries to work its way through. Dodd taps it to himself. Left it behind DeSera. Got a hand pass out for Tragakis. Then sets it out towards Parsons. Parsons momentarily pauses before he gets back on his bike and loads it up. Footy out towards West, and he's got it.
It was again a good kick to the advantage side of West, but it was actually a really good mark. He had an opponent coming back. He had to outbody his opponent. He's a big man, West, we know, but took the clunk that his team desperately needs. We've seen classic Glenunga football over the last 5 minutes, haven't we? Long and strong to contest, winning those contests, and then long and strong to the goal front. Really good mark by West. If he puts this through, they'll be on a roll.
Here we go. Glenunga very, very slowly starting to give us shades of 2024. A big part of last season was West. And he kicks a goal. There we go, another one for the big ruckman. He gets on the scoreboard. And our 3-3-21 plays one straight 6.
Yeah, like I said, that's really good, strong football by Glenunga. In the last 5 minutes, they've gone bang, bang. We said they needed to get some reward for effort. They didn't kick a goal from their first 7 entries. They've kicked 3 from their last 4. So exactly what they needed. Like I said, they're on a roll, just kicking long and strong to contest, the style of football we've seen them play over the last 3 or 4 seasons, but winning those contests and then importantly getting some marks at the goal front, getting their game up and running.
Yeah, they certainly are. West coming off 7 disposals last week as well. I had 15 hit-outs, so a great game of footy for him. We go back into the centre of Webb Oval. Ball slapped down by West. Well, then falls away of Marini. Marini then fires it back towards Carlo Vasitis. Ball off a step from Pridham. Pridham just sends it up, asks West to fly. West does just that, but the only numbers that were waiting down were wearing the strip of Golden Grove, and it's a dump tackle. So a little bit of reward for effort then from Buck.
And a little 25-metre penalty to boot as well. So not what they needed. That'll get them deep inside 50 here.
Buck inside forward 50 finds Pascoe. And how many times are we going to call that Pascoe's on the end of something today?
Yeah, he's forced him wide though, hasn't he? Obviously they kicked to Pascoe a lot going inside 50, and why wouldn't you? He's such a great player, but he's had to go wide here. But you can kick a goal from this pocket. Doesn't go out too wide. He should be able to kick a nice drop punt through the goal face here.
Pascoe goes through his momentum. His set shot obviously ended the day with 9 goals last week. All of them came in the second half. Kick from a tight angle is on its way just a little bit wide. So 1-1-7 plays 3-3-21. Rams shocked a little bit as they've started this game incredibly well with Glenunga. We're about to come back in. And we are away. Temi, the ever reliable, decides to go straight up the middle, asking a lot of West. Ball then falls down. Glenunga seem to have reverted to what's worked for them in previous seasons. Pittman fires out a hand pass. Blades. Ball over the head of everybody just about. Tracking it back is Slater. Oh, he had a sorry, McKelvey that was, who had a big bump late on him. And set up, and Abe Davis grabs it. Turning. Snapping nice and quickly. West. Ball falls down. Still dancing. Glenn fires it out. DeSera. Back in and under it. No one able to really win this footy out. Bayun. He then flicked it wide. Ball works its way inside forward 50, and it ends up over the top of the boundary line. It's going to be thrown back into play.
They can put more pressure on Golden Grove here, can't they? They can lock the ball inside 50, build their wall behind the football. Like I said, really impressive last 10 minutes from Glenunga. This is the classic football we've seen them play here at Webb many times over the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it is. It's good to see them. We always knew they would start to kind of fire their way at some point in this season, Glenunga. The ball starts to work its way back again. That one's going to be holding the ball. And it's going to be a free kick going the way of Mike Lunny. Now, he lost his shirt last week. He's found it again. Let's see what he's able to do. Tricky kick from the pocket here. But he may as well have a dive. Again, I'll keep saying it. No players want to go to Chinana. He's going to go... No, he's going to have a go at the check side banana here.
23 disposals for him last week. That kick not one of his best. He was going for the goals. Ended up forming a pack and it being smashed over in the end.
Again, they'll be able to keep some pressure on here, though, without rushing in behind. It's gone in for a boundary throw-in. So, again, deep inside Glenunga's forward line. Golden Grove got to be mindful of those tackles not going high.
Footy comes back in, slap back down. Working its way towards, the boundary line, but it stopped well before it got them. Ball then spills back out. Wonky. He then fired the ball back across. Slater.
Great tackling again there, wasn't it?
It was an excellent tackle.
So they're up and about now, Glenunga, aren't they? You can see as soon as they kicked a couple of goals, get the juices flowing, and they are now putting amazing pressure on.
West. Dodd was able to intercept. Pittman at the back. He's everywhere all the time, just about. And then fires back out. And at half back, it's going to be a ball up. And he's going to go the way. No, there's going to be a free kick, and it is going to go the way of them there of Marini. Ryan Variety. Mitchell not out there today. We'll then flick across and find Smith, another one of the inclusions. So the two inclusions end up kicking it to each other. And the long kick inside, asking a lot of his flyers. Ball falls down. It's getting towards the boundary line. Bayun is there, but that one's going to end up going over and out.
Yeah, they won't mind that, Glenunga. They knew they were kicking into a big pack of players, but even with Golden Grove having the outnumber, West is such a big man. He makes the contest. And again, the boundary throw in deep inside Glenunga's forward 50.
Roll back in. Ball comes back down. And again, they will be able to get it out here at half back, but intercepted at half forward now for Glenunga by Pridham. Pridham then turns, puts it inside forward 50. One key, ball comes down. Did he grab it? He did. I'm not sure how he plucked that one out of the air.
It was a Tim Membry style mark, wasn't it? He just did the jump stop and jumped straight up. One key. He competes a lot all the time, doesn't he? He hasn't taken a lot of marks so far this year, but that's a crucial one for his team. And again, normally a pretty accurate set shot from this range. All the Wonky boys are.
See what he can do. Wonky approaches, couple of steps, and he made the goal umpire do some work, but he's given him the goal. So Wonky gets his first on the day. They extend that margin up past 3 goals. It's a game high now, 21-point margin.
Classic kick the goal and come off the ground, but that's a great mark by Wonky. There was a huge pack of players there. It's so difficult to take contested marks in packs of 5 and 6 that they form, as Glenunga do. They kick the ball high, long and strong to the top of the square. They're probably just expecting a contest and not a mark, but well done there by Wonky. Good confidence builder for him, and a great start to the game for Glenunga.
Absolutely it is. All about to come back in. Or back up, sorry, I should say. Rux, West, Robinson. There we go. Ball now at the back with Glenunga. They turn and send it forward very quickly through Glenn. Glenn into the danger zone. Ball then fisted away. Pridham. Karlovasitis. Glenn might get there again. As Glenunga start to build up from the back, Dragaka simply ran out of tightrope. He's ended up over and out.
Probably the first time we've called Glenn's name, isn't it? It's been very quiet to start this game, but we know he's capable of doing things in quick little bursts for his team.
120 points. And Simon makes his way back onto the ground. Ball comes back in, West. He nearly was able to win it down. Karlovasitis. He was there, ran out of room. Fired back. Well, Banwell didn't quite get that handball on his chest, so I had to bend down and pick it up. Pittman, as he so often does, ended up with the football, but that one's intercepted. Smith doing what he does best back there.
You can see again, Smith, he can play on a tall, and he's playing on Cavallaro, small at the moment. One of the great defenders in the Adelaide Footy League. Relieving mark for his team late in this quarter. Lockie, they'd love to take this advantage into quarter time, not concede a late one.
Smith, Karlovasitis, Pridham. Pridham turns around, did a 180 and ended up back where he started with the football. And he decides up towards the line is where he'll go. Big fist from over the back, knocked it forward. Pittman somehow ended up with the football again. Ball then fired back from Pridham. Pridham's going to end up with it again. And that's a great mark taken at half forward. They're moving it very, very quickly, Glenunga. Ball might work its way out, and still they track it towards the boundary line. Redmond not able to quite pick it up. Did he get taken high? He did. So the umpire decided to reward him. And now there's a little bit of a spot fire going on. So Redmond's got the football.
Not sure if he's got the range from here. Looks like he would kick from just beyond 50 metres, but I think it's more about the clock management here. He just wants to take his time and not give Golden Grove that kick-out opportunity to go coast to coast.
We just heard that directly from the bench as well. Eli, take your time. Redmond on the approach. Kicks and, dragged that straight across the face. So, well, distance wasn't the trouble in the end, but he potentially sacrificed accuracy getting it there.
But they should be able to defend the ground from here. Abe Davis will go behind the football. It should only be 30 seconds to go in this quarter. So they just got to stop Golden Grove from going coast to coast here. Make them go long up the line to Big West.
Well, a very, very successful start to this game for Glenunga. See if they can turn it over, though. Pilkington, he's got other ideas. He then gets the footy smothered. As through comes Carlo Vasitas. Smith, is there time potentially for Glenunga? Flicks back, Pittman, and Co. Well, they were very, very quickly. On to Pridham as it's going to be balled back up. Ball comes down. Fired Michaelani into twist and turn. Whistle's gone. It's the umpire say. Free kick, Pittman. They're going to have to move it quickly, Golden Grove. The Kookaburras need to take flight. They're running quickly, out of time on that clock. Ball then across. Bouncing. Collected by Hable. Turns one way and Siren beats him. So 4-3-27, 1-1-7. Not many expected this. Glenunga in some good form at the quarter-time break.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back, everybody, to Web Oval. It's been a great start if you are a fan of the home team, Glenunga. They are 20 points to the good here, 4-3-27. Plays 1-1-7. Golden Grove, their only goal kicker. It actually came in the first one of the match, and it was the player in Pasco. He's had a really, really good start to the day as we have a look at his team getting some of an address.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed, Golden Grove. Like I said, they looked all right in that, kicked the first goal, defended well, kicked a nice coast-to-coast goal to Pascoe. But after that, it was old-school Glenunga, wasn't it? It was pressure. It was contest. It was long and strong to contest, winning that contest. And we saw 3 powerful marks at the goal front, didn't we, with Davis, West and Wonky. All taking contested marks inside 50 that they were able to convert. So it was a classic Glenunga quarter in the end. They were off to a great start. Long way to go, though, because we do know that Golden Grove can score quickly and in bunches. But, yeah, Golden Grove, again, probably for mine, haven't adjusted to the oval. I know you want to maintain possession of the football coming out of the back half, but those kicks just aren't always on. I'd be going longer and stronger to Verity and Slater and getting contests around those guys, giving their crummers a chance. But early days, Golden Grove, a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, a little bit of work to do for Golden Grove. I think that's probably a fair assessment there, Adam. Glenunga, though, on the other side, they must be delighted.
Yeah, like I said, it's just that little confidence builder. We noted early in the quarter, they had the first 7 inside 50s of the game and didn't score. And sometimes that can be really deflating when you're playing so well, you're on top, you're getting the ball inside 50, but you just can't get someone to take a mark or you can't convert a little snap. But they got Desira, didn't they, on that fast break, and he showed that great speed, got him on the board, and then in the next, it was only 7 or 8 minutes, they kicked 3 more quick goals. So, yeah, good start to the game for Glenunga, but again, a long way to go in this match.
Yeah, so there is a massive amount of time still to go. 20 points at quarter time. No way to know who's going to end up winning this game of football, really. Still so much to tune in for. Some of the better players for each side that you can think of off the top of your head there, Adam?
It's good to see Davis look like he just somewhere getting close back to his best. He just looked like he's pretty mobile around the ground, took the nice mark inside 50s, taking his turn in the ruck. We've called Pittman a fair bit, haven't we? Yeah, in and under for his team. The defenders have had to do a lot, haven't they? They've had 14 inside 50s Glenunga, so the Golden Grove defenders have been working overtime. And some of their small forwards, we haven't called Cavallaro and Glenn a hell of a lot, and they're their playmakers. So it's difficult for those guys on the small oval to always get involved, but they need them to get involved in this contest now. And like I said, I've been really impressed with Glenunga's on balls. Pridham, we've called a lot. Desira with his speed. I've been impressed with Redmond's tackling 2 or 3 times. He's laid great tackles. And Zach Smith, welcome addition back into the team. He's been a general across half-back for Glenunga.
Yeah, he is. He's very, very happy to be back out there as well. As we have a little bit of a look, both teams starting to break from the huddle. What do Golden Grove need to change to get back into this?
It won't be a lot of ranting and raving. There'll be no panic from Golden Grove. Like I said, they just got outplayed for 10 minutes there, and Glenunga were able to put some goals on the board. But yeah, they need to go back to getting some pressure around the ball, winning those front and centre battles. So when Glenunga, their game style is to go long and strong to big packs, inevitably there's a crumb front and centre. You've got to win that ball. That's the one you got to win, because if you win it, it goes back inside 50 for you. If they win it, it goes inside 50 for them. So he'd be asking for his front and square players to put a little bit more pressure on, get a few more numbers at that contest so they can ping-pong the ball back inside 50 and even up that score. It's 14-7 inside 50s. You can't win a game of football with that big a discrepancy. So they need to even up that inside 50 count, give their forwards a chance.
About to get going. Second quarter, massive game in the context of Golden Grove season. Massive game in the context of Glenunga's season as well. Glenunga looking for their first win at home since the final series of last year. It's been a long time since they beat. It was Port Districts here in that final game at Webb Oval in 2024. Since then, 0-3, but maybe if things continue along this way, they'd be 1-3 here on season 2025. Ball cleared by Pittman, and then towards half forward it goes. The Kookaburras looking to get back into the contest. Pittman again dives back in and under, and that one's going to be balled up. Rucks with West. Falls back down. Pittman gets it forward. There's a little dribbler inside forward 50, and the ball bounces out towards the outer side. Still tracking, and that slipped out of the hands then. The player in Havel, it looked like he was going to turn and go, but it wasn't quite able to get there. Let's come back into play. A bit of argy-bargy going on between Dot and Michaelani. Clearly something was said. Glenn.
I think what's happening here, Lockie, is Michaelani is tagging Glenn. So what he's trying to do is just give a little bit of separation for Glenn at this stoppage. Look for Michaelani going to Josh Glenn.
He's done it again there, Adam. Spot on, as always.
Don't mind the tactic. When you're the underdog like Glenunga, you've got to get after the opposition. Josh Glenn's a gun player. Don't let him run around and do what he wants.
Interesting they picked Glenn and not Pittman, though.
Nah, Glenn's more of a playmaker on the outside. Pittman's in and under, hard player to tag. So if I had the choice, I'd be tagging Glenn. Very good player.
There we go. That is why we've got Adam Jeffries here. Ball goes inside forward 50 from Parsons, and that is out of bounds.
And just to explain that to the viewers as well, Jake Pittman is an outstanding player, but what Josh Glenn can do is he can hurt you with going inside 50 and scoring goals himself, and that's the type of player you want to shut down.
There is Pittman. Ends up with the football. Turns back across. Oh, it was a dangerous kick. Nearly worked out okay. Still, that was with Collins. He was the late inclusion for the player in Shenton today. Meantime, the ball works its way out towards West. West then collects. Carlo Vasitas. Slater comes charging through. Flicked it back. Pass goes. Well, he sent it in, and then still they work its way out. Carlo Vasitas. Marini, and it should be okay here for Glenunga. They've got some run of their own with Michaelani. He then turns back inside. The Tigers got the footy. At the back it goes, and a great grab. That was a fantastic effort there.
Michaelani's dummy and coming back inside set that up. It would have been a tricky one for the Glenunga forwards. It would have gone deep into the pocket, but what he did is he cut back on the inside, and Wonky had the great position on his opponent then in a one-on-one. And again, a little tricky shot from the pocket, but he should be able to. There's plenty of goal face available to him there.
Wonky skips in and sends it straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's his second on the day. One in the first, one in the second, and Glenunga, they are absolutely rampaging at the minute. 5-3-33, Golden Grove 1-1-7.
Amazingly for Glenunga, of their 5 goals, 4 have come from transition from their defensive 50, where they've been able to go coast to coast. So that's well done to them on some good ball movement. Again, contested marks inside 50 for Glenunga. They've now taken 4 of them, which is a pretty big number in modern football with flooding defences. So well done to them. Good transition. Golden Grove, a little bit of work to do now. Would probably want the next goal just to settle. Glenunga get a handy lead on their small home deck. Might be hard to overturn.
And away we go again as West taps the footy down. Faye was tracking after it. He was knocked off it in the end. And they do work it forward. Here we go with Collins. Collins then turns, sets it up. Pascoe was the intended target. Pilkington's there to arrive assistance, and now there's about 10 or 15 surrounding this football.
If Glenn can't get involved in the game soon, if I'm coach, I'm throwing him to the full forward line. Test Michaelani and get a goal, get his confidence going, Josh Glenn. And see what happens over the next 5 or 10 minutes.
He's certainly winning the battle at the minute, Michaelani.
Yeah, we did note in the first quarter we didn't call Glenn a lot. It's hard when you've got a tag, a young fit player like Michaelani. Glenn's a more experienced player. So it's going to be a long day for Glenn, but he can still impact with the scoreboard.
Well, Golden Grove trying to go forward. And they've been stopped momentarily. Holding the ball was the Colso Parsons.
It's got their mojo back with pressure, haven't they, Lockie? This is not the team we've seen played this year. This looks like the 23-24 version of Glenunga today, doesn't it, so far?
Well, it's the team that, dare we say it, made premierships. And there's still a long way to go in the season. Flying down with Dodd, or Cavallaro rather. Then turns inside. Pilkington was again the intended target. But they've got some run through the centre of the ground. Here they go, Golden Grove. That is looking to go all the way through.
Yeah, not touched. That's a goal.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's really good hands by Verity in the middle of the ground. He took the ball and in an instant gave a beautiful handball to the runner coming through. I have to pick up who that is, but it was a great low dart. Zach Smith with the real lunging effort, but clearly didn't touch the ball. Good response there by Golden Grove.
So it was Kane Horskins who just came charging through then to kick that goal. So absolutely brilliant effort from him. And back in the centre we will go again. So desperately needed, really, Golden Grove. That's a little bit of a restarter for them. 2-1, it plays 5-3. Margin now 20 points. Pittman, no one was holding the ball. He dropped the footy in the tackle, so his opponent gets rewarded justly. Michaelani, he was the one that laid the tackle in the end. So the footy inside forward 50 now, and that is a brilliant grab.
It's Wonky again.
It is.
I called in the first quarter. He had a bit of a quiet day last week and a tough windy day for tall forwards. But that big pack mark at the top of the square. It can do wonders for your confidence. And now that's his third contested mark inside 50, going for his third goal. So he'd be feeling $1 million here. 40 metres out. Big fella should be able to put it through.
See what he does. Nick Wonky in some form at the minute, and he's able to just lean back on that and steer it home. Glenunga, quick response, 6-3-39. Golden Grove, 2-1-13.
Football's all about confidence. You know what? All sports is all about confidence. And you can see Wonky this week looks like a totally different player now, doesn't he? Like I said, that big mark early on that entry there. It was just a wobbly kick in his direction, but he just protected the drop zone. He's the taller guy than what you think. He spent time in the ruck for Glenunga over the last couple of years. And once he gets his big frame in front and he's protecting that drop zone, he ended up taking a chest mark. But most importantly, beautiful set shot from 40 metres. Did not make the goal umpire move at all. So great start for him. 3 goals for Wonky early in this match.
Back in the centre we go. And it was in a bit of a dead heat in the ruck. Tracking after it though, it was Collins. Again, the late inclusion. Little kick forward. Pridham. Fay. Able to get it forward. Tregakis. Glenunga. Back to their best. Oh, well done. That was an absolutely fantastic grab. Simone just doing what he does back there. And lost the footy. That's going to be dramas all over. And
yeah, lucky to get the free kick there. Again, I know teams want to move the football quickly, but every time you take a mark and give the handball, you just invite pressure.
Certainly do. Up the line, Carlo Vasitas the interceptor that time. And turn, circulating football. Not able to quite grab it. And West. One is going to be, there is a couple of players down, a little bit of carnage. West is one of them.
You can see what happens, Lockie, those marking contests on those high balls. There's so many players in there and there's big collisions happening under the drop of the ball. And we've got sore players from both teams here, but look like they're both okay.
Xanthopolis, the player from Golden Grove, and he just very quickly grabbed the water and he seems to be okay again. Inside the centre of the ground we go. Carlo Vasitas able to hand pass it and get another chain started for Glenunga. Marini on the outside. And ball in a little bit of dispute at the minute. Calavaro, he then got it up. Tregakis intercepted. Tregakis. And one-on-one. Opperman not able to quite grab it. It was wonderful team defence. Simon and the player as well in Thatcher doing the team job to get that one over the line.
Almost overpossessed the ball there, didn't before. I think it was Marini who, facing forward, he'd normally be the one you want kicking it, but they've turned the ball over again here.
They have Bayun. He then tried to hit up Marini again. Dodd. Smith goes sliding in, nearly able to win it out. It's just that. Flick back across. Inside, and that's an interception taken. Really, really good work. And again, more carnage. Players being taken down as casualties at the minute. And the next one of
Marini who's down there, but he'll might just be winded. He'll get moving shortly.
So a couple of winded opportunities here. Meantime, footy back in the hands of Ingram. He then takes off towards the outer side. Ball falls down. No one was able to grab that. Back into his Collins. He then flicks it over the top. And here go Glenunga prancing down the outer side. Mark taken and McKelvey told to held up. Just as players get back inside forward 50. Ignores that advice. Sends it out towards Pascoe. He's there. He was just about the only one they need at the minute. And the ball goes over.
It's really their only target when they go inside 50 on those occasions, don't they? I think they need somebody else just to bob up. Like I said, I'll be looking at putting Josh Glenn to the goal front. He's going to have a tough day on ball. Wonder if the coach will make that move soon. Just give him another option rather than Pascoe in the pocket on most of their entries.
Back in we go. All arrived Marini, and he does look to be okay. Umpire says that one is going to be mine.
Just need to lock the ball in their side. They're forward 50 for a couple of minutes, don't they, Golden Grove? Been defending a lot. You need to give your defenders 2 or 3 minutes just waiting behind the ball, gathering their breath. They haven't had that chance yet this quarter.
Flick back. Fay. Abe Davis got the slap down. Still we wait. Davis's numbers last week as well, for those that were trying to tag along. 12 disposals he had. Oh, in the meantime, it's broken clear. Golden Grove, with a little bit of contest, and Temi was there. That one's going to be racked up, though. Opperman off the deck as well. Davis got it down. Flick Pridham. Moraney. Pridham. Inside forward 50 it goes. West was there. No one able to track it as it fell to the dirt. Smith then arrived quickly and he's sprinting away. That is an excellent mark as well, able to just bob up. And a great grab going the way then of Thompson.
And they've told him to shoot for goals straight away, so they must know he has a nice long leg.
Well, he did a bit of defending last week from what we saw down at Largs Bay. But he's ended up forward. See what he's able to do. And ended up with just the 5 disposals last weekend. They'd certainly love a goal here. Daniel Thompson, kick is on its way and over everybody's head. They'll get around him for that. Lovely, lovely embrace as Daniel Thompson kicks his first.
Yeah, it's a big goal for Glenunga, isn't it? And they see, as soon as Thompson took that mark on 50, everyone said, settle, take a shot. So there's 2 reasons for that. They knew he could carry the line with a beautiful long kick, and what that gives their chance for their defenders to set up and have a quick breather. So it's smart football by Glenunga. They're right on top now, aren't they? Just looking dangerous, going inside 50, winning the contest, winning those front and centres, winning the stoppages around the ground, getting the ball in long and strong.
A good crowd as well, just outside the door of the broadcast van. Plenty watching on. And we are away, centre of the ground again. West gets it forward, bouncing footy. It's trapped by Smith. Smith then fires it back out. Rainey brings it back in. Still the footy bounces on the dirt. Thatcher was there. Did he win himself a free kick? He did. So Thatcher looks up the line and hits his teammate in Buck.
See if they take a risky kick into the corridor. They do again, but it's come off on this occasion.
Don't mind that. Give it a go. Horskins, he kicked that beauty of a goal just before. A little bit further out, but a little bit further out this time as Ingram turns, gets up the line, big fist over the top, trapping and turning and twisting and goaling is Collins. Absolutely wonderful goal.
Is that Cavallaro? I think it might be, down in the pocket there. We'll have to find that out, but hopefully we've got a replay of that as we saw Big Ingram come all the way up from fullbacks, taking the mark. He's looked for Pascoe inside 50, and that is Cavallaro, I believe. And that is a contender for player of the day. That is an unbelievable snap.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant work from him. A couple of happy Golden Grove fans nodding along. That one through the big sticks. 3-1 plays 7-4. As Golden Grove continue to just work their way back into the contest.
I've been critical of Golden Grove's ball use, but that little inside 45 kick did come off on that occasion, and they got the open side and got the goal.
It's high risk, high reward. Glenn was in the centre then up against his opposite number in Faye. Who just trickles along, collected. Now with Pittman. Inside forward 50 it goes, and at the back, Tammy, too good. Pascoe was saying, I got a touch on that too. Umpire, come on, but he wasn't having a bar of it. It was a mark in the end, and Pridham takes one that's
done well, Tammy, hasn't he? After Pascoe looked good in that first 10 minutes, looked like he was going to have a big day out, but just starting to win a couple of contests, Tammy.
Pridham will flicked up Tammy. And that has ended up going the way of Golden Grove. Kick. It's worked out okay. They've got a little bit of a hand pass going, and well, they might have invited some pressure. Ball in the hands of Xanthopoulos. And then the kick inside forward 50. Pascoe's there. Oh, was able to just stick 1 mid up and said, you can send 3 to me, but I'm going to take that mark every day of the week.
That was a brilliant mark by Pascoe on that occasion. Like I said, I think they're getting a little bit one-dimensional, going to him a lot. But I suppose why wouldn't you when he's capable of taking marks like this? Just held his opponent enough, and it's actually a skill to just palm that ball down with soft hands so you can take the second grab. He actually did that on purpose, so that's a really good mark.
See what he can do. Aiming for goal number 2 on the day. Pascoe made the goal umpire do a little bit of work, but he got the goal in the end. 4-1-25, the Rams 7-4-46, a margin of 21 points.
Yeah, just a couple of quick goals in a row for Golden Grovers, which they desperately needed. Like I said, I'll be interested to see what Golden Grove do. If they're going to get some nice entries, I'd like them to see, Verity maybe go deeper inside 50. We haven't seen him be the mark target too often. Like I said, in modern football, you don't want to be going to the same guy all the time. But like I said, it's paid off on that occasion. Really good mark by Pascoe and a good shot for goal.
Back in the centre of the ground. And we are underway again. Ball slapped forward, Marini. Quickly turned and gives a hand pass across. That was Redmond who went inside, and Ingram took a mark.
See, they're disappointed with that entry, Glenunga. They want to go long and strong to the goal face. Instead, they've turned it over.
Thought he found an option, and they might have turned it over as well. Golden Grove. Ball flicked back by Verity. Pittman arrives, and that was going to be a dead heat. Directly in front of us there. Footy thrown back. Ball goes up, West. Tap to the back. Work its way towards the boundary line. Rooney has to turn. And unable to trap it really. Still they're able to work. Inside forward 50 goes Redmond. 1-on-1. Was that a hold?
Yes.
Umpire said yes, it was.
Looked like a right call, didn't it? Just had the drop of the ball there. I think it was Opperman, is it? And got held. It's great play by Redmond, though. He's the one that set that up. I thought that Glenunga might look to take the ball over the boundary line in front of us. It flipped back into the corridor, and I thought Golden Grove were going to be away. But Redmond showing great speed in this game. He's been impressive so far, and Opperman, first look at the goals for him today.
Opperman steps in and kicks a goal. So the Rams respond 8-4, plays 4-1. And it looks like finally they might be having a bit of a happy homecoming, Glenunga.
It's an entertaining game, isn't it, Lockie? It's plenty of goals, plenty of good contests we're seeing in this one. But yeah, it looked like the right decision there. Looked like he had the hold at the top of the square. Golden Grove defenders didn't really remonstrate too much, did they? Which normally tells you the umpires made the right call. Good shot for goal by Opperman, who's probably his first look at it today. I thought he played quite well at Port Districts last week, Opperman. We called him quite a bit. Hasn't bobbed up yet, but he'll be happy with that. That'll get his confidence going.
Simon kind of grabbed his shirt, obviously, which is where the hold came from. And we see that margin extend again. Back in the centre we go. Footy thrown up. West slaps it forward. Fay, he's able to pick it up. Oh, footy dropped and Cavallaro goes in hard. He's able to win it nearly. Did in the end. Glenn, that was clever. Those two combining as they have so often for Golden Grove. And that's a great grab too. They're able to quickly defend, and goes the way there of Scott. Oh, through. And that is going to be wrapped up. Michael Annie wrapped up by Glenn on this occasion. Now umpire says that'll be mine, centre of the ground. Umpire just trying to get some separation for the players. Throws it up in the end. Works its way out for... Well, West is the only player that's going to be able to grab that. He grabs it, stands up, and hand passes at the same time. And then Carlo Vasitas. He's able to turn and put it inside forward 50. Ball bounces to the back. Parsons flicks it back. Wonky, little check sider. Oh. That would have been something special.
Would have been certainly a nomination for player of the day if he had threaded that through.
It is now in the hands of Golden Grove, and the footy's with Xanthopoulos, who asked for someone to lead, give him something to kick to. So long and strong towards the outer side, looks like the option. This is where he goes, floats across, collected, Fay, back inside, footy turning, Bayun, still working hard, hands and knees, scrapping away. Footy bouncing towards the boundary line. Stopped before it got there by Xanthopoulos, but in the end he ends up taking it back over.
Again, Glenunga are dominant. Like Golden Grove looked dangerous when they go inside 50. They had 12 inside 50s to 5 this quarter, Glenunga. So the game is certainly being played on their terms.
Footy thrown back in. Tapped. And it might work out. Michaelani snap towards goal, but he doesn't trouble the scorers with that effort.
You would love that, Mike Laney. When you're the tagging player, you're not going to get a lot of disposals, but if you can just scrounge your goal, it really does dent the confidence of the player you're tagging, but he didn't manage to do it on that occasion.
So blocked one way. They're going to try this side now. Oh, it was a big contest coming. Big fist in the end. Massive win going the way of Butterworth. And wrapped up. Plenty of options as they swing the changes at Glenunga in terms of who comes off and who goes on. Still now Glenn dancing through the centre of the ground. And that falls. Verity works there for Carlo Vasitas, and Carlo Vasitas takes it off half back and charges forward. And Footy collected at the back. Glenunga, hand pass fired. Robinson, he went back towards Blades. And then Collins, who then worked out, and here they go. Horskin's on the run. And had a
touched out of bounds.
Yep.
Unlucky there for Golden Groves. They were going to go inside 50. Josh Glenn staying on ball. He's trying to work through the tag. He's just had a couple of disposals of late, hasn't he? So he's an experienced guy. He would have been tagged before. He'll keep working through this. Love to see him push forward and just hit the scoreboard and give his opponent something to think about.
Michael Annie almost gave him something to think about moments before. Flick towards the outer side of that contest. Coming and charging in. They might be able to start it. Cavallaro. He then goes up and Pittman, sorry, not Pittman, that was Carlo Vasitas there that nearly had an opportunity. That one's driven forward by Bayun.
Free kick paid, so they'll go inside 50 again here, Glenunga.
And Bayun sends it inside forward 50 with the only player back there. Thatcher, ever reliable for Glenunga. Great defender for them. And flicks it wide. And the kick towards Slater. Works out okay. Took a mark over Smith. Not very often you're able to take a mark on Zach Smith. And Horskins, he's gotten a little bit more involved in this game. And it's going to be a free kick. Banwell's been pointed at to say you're going to end up with a free kick. It's gone downfield. Banwell turns, finds the leading forward in Pascoe, but he hit his foot, so Footy just flicked back up. Out of side still, they try and work it back. They've gone backwards to go forwards here, Golden Grove. Footy inside forward 50. Just a high circulating football, a little bit of chaos theory as it goes inside. And the umpire says that one's going to be mine.
Golden Grove, even though they've been outplayed, if they can kick a late goal in this quarter, it'll give them a little bit of confidence going in the halftime. Like I said, they're a high-scoring team when they get rolling on this small ground. Just need to kick the next one. Not playing at their best, but stay in touch because you never know what can happen.
The umpire's giving the signal for another ball up. Pittman gets to his feet. We'll tap down Slater. It's towards the outer side. Smith clears the ball. Bouncing Footy. And wrapped up nicely there. Tackler in Hable. And Bayun throws the Footy back. We go. Wonky works it towards Glenn, who then just sends it inside forward 50. Footy falls down. Banwell's dangerous. Banwell's been decapitated. No, umpire says that one's going to be a...
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball, so it goes against him.
Quick call there. Not a lot of pride, but I think he thought he took the tackler on and had a chance to get rid of it. So quick call, but probably the right one.
Carlo Vasitas. I thought he'd gotten him high potentially. Might have just been my eyes deceiving me there.
You heard the call from the bench. There's only 1 minute and 10 to go, we think, in this quarter. So both teams will be desperate not to concede and look for an opportunity to score if they can.
Ball now in the hands of Redmond. Redmond. Up it goes. Footy at the back. Here they go. DeSera has a little bit of an outside chance, but finds Davis, and Davis puts it over the top of the goal umpire's head. Great goal. And Abe Davis has got his second, and he's on song today, and when he's on song, it seems Glenunga are on song.
Yeah, it was a brilliant kick to the top of the square to Davis's advantage. Again, all he had to do was lean on. Like I said, Glenunga, this is what they do. They go long and strong, but they win that front and centre battle. And all he had to do was lean on Ingram there. Not a lot the big fella Ingram can do there when the kick's to the advantage of someone like Davis. But yeah, that's a great goal for Glenunga. We said there was only minutes to go, a goal either way. If Golden Grove had have got it, they would have been feeling pretty good going into half-time and staying in touch. But Glenunga get it, and it's quite a sizable margin now, 34 points. Yeah, it's been Glenunga's half, hasn't it?
It certainly has been. That is a sizable margin. It's a margin that's up from what it was at quarter time. It was a margin of 20 points at quarter time. 14 added on to that. And all of a sudden, it's looking pretty bleak for Golden Grove. Certainly hasn't been their most goldenest period of football.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of soul searching to do at half-time, Golden Grove. Let's see what happens. As they're going to get a centre clearance, so they have time.
Footy inside forward 50. This is their moment now. If they're going to kick a goal to end the first half, it is now. Banwell was quickly on the scene.
You hear the call from the bench. There's only 15 seconds to go here, so we'll probably get one ball up. Glenunga have got to be smart, get numbers, keep the tackles low as the siren goes.
So there it is, half-time. That's how it ends for the first half. 9-5-59, Golden Grove. 4-1-25, Glenunga. The Rams a 34-point lead. No one saw that one coming. Plenty more footy on the other side of this. Not from filming footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
at Glenunga against Golden Grove, 9-5-59. Golden Grove 4-1-25. A 34-point margin the way of the Rams. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
No, a little bit of a surprise. Yeah, I thought pre-match we were asked to give a tip. I thought maybe Golden Grove would come out here and win, but there's 14 scoring shots to 5, 29 inside 50s to 17. They're dominant, Glenunga. This is a Glenunga 23-24 vintage performance by them so far. Golden Grove, a little bit of soul searching to do in the change rooms at halftime.
Absolutely. Of course, we're going to go around the ground in the BTR Excavations Men's Division 1. Prince Alfred 3-3-21, Port District 7-8-50. Not a major shock there, Port District being on top.
No, not a major shock. Like I said, Prince Alfred came out of the blocks, didn't they, with those first 2 wins of the season. But since that point, they've just looked like they're just starting to struggle a little bit. They're a pretty young team. They've got a lot of school leavers playing Division 1 A-grade football. And Port Districts have been impressive for mine this year. Like, so I thought they'd have a bit of a premiership hangover. But no such problems for them. They look again like a club on a mission that's going to be playing at the pointy end of the season. So no surprise, only at half-time. But, yeah, they'd be a tough one for Prince Alfred in that second half.
Payneham 8-3-51. Broadview Tigers 1-5-11. Not potentially the result that Broadview had in mind. They would have considered themselves a sneaky chance today.
Yeah, Broadview aren't going to win a lot of games this year, are they? They would have penciled this one in with Payneham also being 0-6. Maybe they can go and cause a little bit of an upset, but welcome to season 2025. Payneham looks like they'll get their first win of the season. Just a lazy 40 points up. They just need a confidence builder, Payneham, don't they? And just get a win. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Get your season up and running and then go again next week.
Ross Trevor, not a major shock, but certainly a minor upset here. 4-6-30 plays 3-5-23. Sacred Heart potentially staring down the barrel of their first loss.
Yeah, you called this yourself, Lockie, didn't you? You thought maybe it's not a big upset, is it? Ross Trevor are a good football team playing at home, but Sacred Heart are the pace setters of this competition early, 6-0. Haven't really looked like dropping a game yet, have they, Sacred Heart? But this is a good test for Sacred Heart. You know, that's a low-scoring, tough grind game. So let's see what Sacred Heart can do in the second half. We'll keep an eye on that score and try and bring it to you maybe later on. But yeah, good test for Sacred Heart. You're not going to have it all on your own terms, kicking 100 points and winning games by 30 and 40 points in Division 1 all season. You've got to grind out some wins. Let's see what Sacred Heart can do in the second game, in the second half at Campbelltown.
And Salisbury North 3-8-26. St. Peter's 7-4-46. Potentially an accuracy costing Salisbury North up north.
Yeah, that's long way to go, of course. Only 20 points. We've seen Salisbury North have some big second halves this year, haven't we? But we are, interested to see how St. Peter's, if they can hold on. If they can get that win out there, St. Peter's, they'll go to 6-1 and embed themselves in the top 3. So, yeah, good start for St. Peter's. But again, you look at the scoring shots, and you can see Salisbury North being pretty inaccurate. They're normally a very accurate goal-shooting team, Salisbury North, so they'll be looking to tidy that up in the second half.
Yeah, that of course they've got a little bit of they've obviously got the Adam Deacon, that kind of thing up there, potentially just not firing for them today.
Yeah, like I said, but a long way to go. We're not watching that game. We're just seeing the scores. We're seeing the scoring shots even. St. Peter's kicking accurately, so Salisbury North not.
Returning to this game here, obviously Golden Grove are in a little bit of trouble. What do they need to do to respond?
Oh, they're going to need to win some contests. There's a few things they need to tidy up. Like I said, I know Golden Grove, they've got some skilled players and they like to maintain possession of the ball, but on this small web oval, it's so incredibly difficult to take those short 45s and switch kicks because there's just no space to operate in. But aside from that, like I said, this is vintage Glenunga, and what they're doing is they're just going long and strong back to their contests. And Golden Grove just aren't winning enough of those contests, be it at the drop of the ball, big packs forming, ball hits the front and square, there's a ball to be won. And it's pretty simple game football sometimes. Glenunga are winning that ball more often than not. And like I said, there's balls in the middle of the ground that are there to be won. They either win them, go inside 50 for you, or they go back the other way. And like I said, Glenunga have been dominant in the inside 50 count. I've counted 29-17. So 29-17 is a big disparity in inside 50s. They've taken the 7 marks inside 50 as well, Glenunga, and some of them have been contested as well, haven't they? So if they're taking contested marks inside 50 and kicking accurately, we've seen Wonky fire up in the first half, kicking 3. It'll be a long day for Golden Grove.
Adelaide did see a little bit of work around the switches last week. Have they really come into effect today for yours?
No, I think they've gone the opposite. I think they've gone back, wound the clock back. I thought last week I saw them trying to implement under the new coach just a little bit of switch of the football here and there, but today, no. They've gone back to what works for them and what their team's set up to do. They've gone long and strong to contest. We're not switching the football. We're not going short. We are going long to our tools. We are going to get a contest, and we are going to win that contest. So that's what they've done. That's what's worked for them. it's a tough one for Glenunga, isn't it? With a new coach coming in, and they've lost the grand final, you're probably keen to just try something a little bit different. But your team's DNA is your team's DNA, isn't it? And that's not just something that a coach brings, it's embedded in the players. So, so I don't begrudge Coach Guy trying to do something a little bit different. But for mine, it just looks like at 1 and 5, they've sat down on Tuesday night at the review and gone, you know what, guys, we need to go back to this. Let's get back to our DNA. I've seen it in AFL football, SANFL football. I've seen the Crows be a high-scoring team in 2023, and then, we need to defend better. You go to defend better, and then you can't score. So, so you've just got to stick with your DNA. And what they do here at Webb Oval in particular, Glenunga, is they win contests. And they win contests and they get the ball in deep inside 50. And if they take a few contested marks, they'll be on their way. And that's what we've seen in this first half. Let's see what Golden Grove are made of. They've got some players that are down. I've really liked the strategy of Michael Aney tagging Glenn. And I've been impressed with Glenn trying to fight through that tag. He hasn't been playing lazy football. He's been getting to the stoppage and really pushing hard. But they need him to impact at half forward and inside 50. They do look a little bit predictable going to Pascoe on every opportunity. I think Temmie's done quite well on Pascoe, considering how often they go to him. He's kicked the 2 goals, Pascoe, and of course he's looked dangerous. But I think Temmie's held his own on those 50-50 balls. I'd like to see Verity get involved in the game a little bit more. He's very rarely kicked to in those one-on-one marking contests. He's such a tall player. He's such a nimble player. He's got the mismatch because of his height and because of Pascoe's strength. I'm surprised they don't try and get Verity inside 50 a little bit more and try and get his confidence going. Let's just see if they tweak a few little things in the second half, or if the coach just goes, you know what, these are your best positions, play better. There's 2 ways you could go as a coach. You can try some things, or you've picked a team all week to play in positions and play a role. Sometimes you just got to back your players in to just do what we do and do it better. So let's see what Golden Grove bring. They don't want to get smashed in this game because percentage might be important later on in the season as well.
What would you be doing if you were the coach? Would you be flicking some things around, or would you just be saying, boys, what are you doing? Do better?
I'd be just making a couple little subtle changes. If it was me, I don't know their players intimately like their coach does. But like I said, if I can't sit and watch Josh Glenn only get 5 or 6 disposals in this game. If he's going to get 5 or 6 disposals, they may as well be deep inside 50. Like I said, they do look predictable for mine, going to Pascoe a lot. Why wouldn't you? So when forwards are on fire, they just magnetically draw the ball. When kickers have the ball, they see the leading full forward, the guy that's kicked 9 last week, and they kick it to him. But they need to find another option inside 50. But again, it won't matter if Glenn goes forward and the ball doesn't get there. They've got to win some contests around the middle of the ground. It comes down to those front and squares around the ground, those high long kicks that Glenunga are going to do. They're going to get a contest from West. They're going to get a contest from Wonky. They're going to get a contest from Davis. And they're just hunting that ground level ball. So it's been classic Glenunga first half. Well done to them. Let's see. I'd like to see a little fight back from Golden Grove. You've got to show a little bit of ticker to come back in these games. They're on the road. They're 34 points down. You could easily put the cue in the rack and say today's not our day. You know what? You've got next week off. It's a June break. Let's not go into that June break. We've got 2 weeks to stew on an average performance. Let's not do that. Let's give Glenunga something to think about. Let's win this quarter and then come in at 3-quarter time with a little bit of hope that we can run away. If I'm Golden Grove, I just want to win this quarter, 4 goals to 2, something like that. Just win it by a couple of goals, get that margin down to about 20 at 3-quarter time, and then they'll reset and go again. But Glenunga look like a team on a mission today, don't look like they're keen on giving this up.
And if you're within about 20 points, you give yourself a red hot crack going into that last corner that you could overturn it.
Especially when you've got firepower like Golden Grove have got. They can have low inside 50 numbers and score. They can have 5 entries and kick 4 goals. They're capable of it. But they'll have to show some mettle in this second half. Let's see what happens. Call it in, Lockie.
So halftime gives way to the 3rd quarter, and we are back underway in Glenunga. Ball then works its way out towards the half-forward line. Banwell traps it, then fires it to Dodd. Dodd then gives it to Pittman. Pittman inside, through the hands, and Cavallaro was there waiting. Is it going to be a goal? Well, he's missed the shot. And did Verity win himself a free kick?
Interesting call there. Certainly Cavallaro did take the advantage, and he wanted to have the snap from the pocket, which I'm sure his tall forward Verity's not all that impressed with, but the umpire's given Cavallaro the benefit of the doubt. I called for this at half-time. Like I said, Verity, this is the first time he's been targeted inside 50 for the match. This is a guy that's kicked big bags of goals in the Division 2 and Division 3 contests. For mine, he needs to be the target inside 50 on occasion. He is a very, very nice shot for goal. See if he's got his team up and running here with a little bit of a soft free kick, but playing in front, he's a big man. Often the opposition's going to infringe. Let's see what he can do here with the long set shot.
Yeah, coming off of 17 disposals last week. Didn't kick a goal by the stats that I'm looking at. So it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do. In comes Liam Verity. Kick is on its way. Goal umpire doing a lot of work. Goal umpire doing far too much work. So 4-2-26, 9-5-59, and it is a 33-point margin going the way of Glenunga. So slightly better than what it was at halftime, but still really not ideal for the Kookaburras. Trigarchis takes it out wide. Good mark, Parsons. Parsons then has a look inside and decides he's going to go and shoot that little pass off he found to Carlo Vasitis. Carlo Vasitis then in turn flicks it up towards DeSera. DeSera turning and trying to shield the sun from his eyes and then decides to go up towards the pack. Big fly! Oh, Wonky went up, but he wasn't able to trap it. Wouldn't that have been a great mark from Wonky?
He's looked good at the front of the packs today, Wonky, hasn't he? And now you can see him jumping at the ball with a lot of confidence rather than just standing underneath. He really launched at that ball. Classic Glenunga there on the kick out. They just cribbed their way forward, long kick, and now they're inside 50 already.
Ball spinning and twisting its way back in through the air. Fired down through a tangle of arms and legs. It ends up over and out. So the umpire says we'll throw that one back in. Out of side on around about near enough to the 50. Robinson West going to do battle again. They were the original rock contest that started the day all the way back in the first quarter. Oh, down for Robinson. Trying to come bursting through was Pittman, and that one's going to end up over the boundary line too. So trapped over there at the minute.
Can be important minutes, these first few minutes in the third quarter. You see players are cold coming out of the change rooms, and sometimes you can just cruise in. But you've got to really make sure you steel yourself and win that first ball that comes your way in the second half.
Xanthopoulos annoying Opperman as the ball comes back into play. And that one, well, we'll start again.
We've had 3 or 4 consecutive ball-up throw-ins here, Lockie, so the umpires, this is where they get itchy trigger fingers. If I'm getting in and under and I'm playing for a free kick here, because the umpire will be pretty trigger-happy, keen to break this pack up, get the ball moving again.
Let's see. Return serve. Comes back down and nearly works its way out. Umpire says, I'll have that one back, and we'll have a ball up. Pittman throws it back. He was in and under. He's clearly listening along to the broadcast. As that one trickles ever closer to the boundary line and ends up back over and out.
Take 5, another ball up here. So again, who's going to win this arm wrestle? Is the umpire going to blow the whistle and pay a free kick, or is one team going to buckle?
West taps down towards the outer side. Glenn was clever to tap it forward, might have saved us from another ball up, and instead it's going to be a last touch out of bounds kick, and it's going to go the way of Carlo Vasitis. So, what can Thomas Carlo Vasitis do? He decides to kick it inside forward 50. Wonky threw his hands up, and we've ended up back where we started, a little bit further around with another ball in.
Glenunga won't mind this though. They like this tempo. Golden Grove will want a faster game, a transition game, but they're not getting it at the moment.
Yeah, well, they play very differently to almost every other team in the competition, don't they, Glenunga? Where it's just that long kick into the goals. And Michael Annie almost flew up unopposed, was nearly able to get a snap away. It's back down. Michael Annie involved again. Hand passes it out. Pittman was nearly decapitated, so Abe Davis gave away the free kick there. Pittman down towards his leading forward in Pascoe. He's playing a long way from home, doing a little bit of remote work at the minute.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I called for it at halftime. Pascoe's come up a little bit higher and they've left Verity inside 50. It's a good move. They need a different look inside 50, but again, they need to win some contests and get it there because I think Verity does have a height mismatch with his opponent. He just needs a one-on-one contest.
Tracking along the boundary line at the minute. And Robinson West just taps it down. Comes charging through. Did Fay. Pridham twisting. And then able to get the kick away. And that's a fantastic grab as well. Glenn playing a little bit of half back at the minute.
Yeah, I think he's still rolling around the ball. There's just so many numbers around the ball at the moment. What a good mark by him going back.
Pittman turns and bounces, and Parsons nearly able to grab it, but he's surrounded by a couple of Golden Grove defenders. And Ingram's in and over the top of this football. Stopped by a couple, though. One of those is Carlo Vasitis.
Real stalemate, isn't it, Lockie, to start? Both teams a little bit slow coming out of the blocks in the second half. It's just an arm wrestle, a lot of ball ups. First goal is going to be crucial.
West slapped it down. Pittman. And there might have been a free kick, and it is going to be a free kick going the way of Pittman.
He's so keen to tackle Pridham, isn't he? But Pittman just didn't have the ball on that occasion. Let's see what Golden Grove do here. He's sold the dummy.
McKelvey has a shot and misses. That would have been something special from McKelvey. He was able to just step around. It wasn't quite his go.
He was just under that little bit of pressure as he kicked it. It was a great step around. But that's what Golden Grove want. They just want to play with a little bit more excitement and freedom. As Glenunga go long to the centre of the ground.
Was Stragakis with that long raking foot. All comes down. Simon. Through the hands there. Moraney left a little bit of work for his teammate to do. Now the kick towards Smith. Smith then turns. Sets it up. Asking for his forwards to fly. Didn't quite get a mark, and Golden Grove should be able to get away with it. Wonky and Offman nearly cancelled each other out. And the kick.
Just paid a push on that far side, so Glenunga will reload and come back inside 50.
Carlo Vasitas flicks it across towards Smith. Smith
will wait a minute and then he'll get on an arc. No, he's given the handball.
So across to the running man in Temu, who came a long way from his usual post. And the intercepted mark taken back there, Cavallaro. I don't know if you've been on Instagram recently, seen a couple of his vlogs. They're great. They're great fun.
No, or maybe I'll have to give him a follow.
Yeah, ball back towards the boundary line. Trapping it is nicely Redmond. Then he was off, driving like an F1 car inside forward 50. There's a mark that's been intercepted.
Showing some great speed today, Redmond. I've been impressed with him. He didn't finish the kick inside 50 on that occasion, but just what Glenunga needs, someone with a bit of toe, with a bit of excitement, something they were lacking in last year's grand final.
Xanthopoulos has taken a couple of good intercept marks in the last few minutes of this third quarter. And then turning and inside forward 50. It falls towards Pascoe. Pascoe snapping for goal. And Golden Grove get one. 5-3 plays 9-5. That's on the Kiran Ayuketsu scoreboard. And that was absolutely brilliant from Pascoe.
Yeah, it just looked a little bit easy, didn't it? They went inside 50 again. It's good to see Verity targeted on that occasion, and this is where Pascoe is a good player. He wasn't the targeted player there, but he gets to the contest front and square and he snaps a beautiful goal. So for mine, that's good coaching by Golden Grove. They've just changed that forward dynamic up a little bit. That looks much better. Get Verity involved in the game, see what he can do. Pascoe not sitting under high balls in the pocket all day. Great snap by him. That's his third. He's playing his part. Can Golden Grove kick the next and just put a little bit of pressure on Glenunga?
Back in the centre we go. Tapped down by West. West then found Michaelani. Michaelani then bowled over his direct opponent as he gave the hand pass across. It was Pilkington who arrived on scene. And in the end, a tackle. And we're going to have a ball up. Dragakis last to get off the ground. He was tackled by Pittman. Ball slapped down. Redmond led Pittman to the footy and then Pittman tackled him. And the umpire's blown a whistle. Looks like the ball's going to end up back in the hands of the umpire. Thrown up, tapped down. West, he did get the tap down and then ended up in the hands of Carlo Vasitas.
Better pressure here by Golden Grove, isn't it? Having let Glenunga get away. Good tackle there on Bion. Little patch here for Golden Grove. Just need to kick 2-3 in a row and put some pressure on.
Footy nearly works its way forward. That is a kick that's come up from Thompson. Pittman was able to sell a little bit of candy, then find an option on the outer side. Ended up through Habel and then Glenn. Glenn, he's found a teammate just forward to centre. And here they go inside the attacking zone now. Pascoe, little trickle towards the line over the top of and out by Carlo Vasitas.
I haven't seen Pittman come to the bench too often. He's been working hard in and under the packs all day, hasn't he? Been certainly one of Golden Grove's best players.
Yeah, has been. He wanders and finds himself a seat. Back in from, and West might have infringed. He did slightly. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Golden Grove. And it is going to end up in the hands of Slater.
Yeah, Slater's a neat shot for goal too. So this just might be what they need, Golden Grove. coach killers, aren't they? Those little soft ruck free kicks inside the defensive 50. West obviously not happy. Felt like there wasn't much in it, but Slater needs to make him pay.
Hasn't kicked a goal in the last couple of weeks, and that one is on its way, and the goal umpire had to do too much work, so behind. Ended up with 4 inside 50s last week and 12 disposals.
He plays a good role for his team, Slater. He's normally that second ruck tall forward, so he's a guy that can take his turn in the ruck. Probably does 5 or 6 minutes in the middle of every quarter, and he's a capable goal scorer as that sort of third string tall forward as well. As Glenunga take that uncharacteristic little short pass from Pridham, not what they want to do, but they got out of trouble.
Certainly did. Ball in now in the centre of the ground. Umpire wraps it up, and Redmond might have ended up getting caught. He's very slow to get back to his feet. Wobbling a little bit, so hopefully he's okay. West. Ball's then slapped forward. Here come Golden Grove, a little bit of a run on. Towards DeSera, and he might be able to pick it up. Pridham. Umpire says, no, that one's going to be mine. So the umpire throws it back, or gets it back. And West this time wins the ruck tap down. Glenn. Cavallaro, here it is, kick smothered. And that's going to be a free kick going the way of Glenn. So Glenn with the ball, then turns. Oh, well done. That is an absolutely fantastic grab. Carlo Vasitas, and he's been hit here before. He's able to take a great grab then. Footy goes back inside forward 50. There's the hand pass, works its way towards the back. Joshua Glenn again on the ball. Rolling and tracking it, and they do well. Just a dance. Had a lot to do with, then did Havel, and did it quite nicely. Ball now ends up in the hands of Collins. Collins. Then up the line and finds Robinson. Robinson that gives the hand pass across to Pilkington. Pilkington looks. Pascoe's there. Ball falls down. Still with Pascoe. Pascoe, he's been dangerous today, and this time he turns the assister and hits Verity lace out.
Yeah, again, this forward structure looks better, doesn't it? With Pascoe just a little bit higher, he can use his skill there. And like I said, Verity, he can't have a game where he doesn't get targeted inside 50. They brought the big fella to the club to be that foil for Pascoe, so they aren't one-dimensional. Good coaching move at half-time. Good to see. Verity with a shot on goal needs to get his confidence going.
See, relatively unsighted to this point. Has been better in the third quarter. Deserves a goal and gets one too. Well done there, Liam Verity, and that margin just closes up ever so slightly. It's back at 19 points, 6-4-40, 9-5-59. Kieran Hayu, Ketsu scoreboard.
Yeah, just look a little bit better, Golden Grove, don't they? Their forward structure looks a little bit better. They've had the 5 or 6 inside 50s this quarter. They look dangerous when they go in. They just didn't have enough volume of inside 50s in the first half to trouble Glenunga. So I think it's still game on here. Glenunga will have to keep that scoreboard ticking over. Only 2 goals so far this quarter, both to Golden Grove. Glenunga 9 goals in the first half. They still need to keep that scoreboard ticking over. Only 19 points. Golden Grove will be feeling good.
Yeah, they will be. They'll be delighted so far, Golden Grove, with this third quarter. Glenunga, well, they'll feel like they're still in the box seat. They are still in the box seat, being 19 points up. Small gets slapped forward and ends up with Glenn. Glenn then to Pittman. How many times have we seen those two combine? As the ball falls towards DeSera, and Faye was able to collect it. Now towards Bayun. He nearly tried to push his opponent under the footy. That was clever. Still working for Faye. Collected by Marini. Marini. Then the kick inside from Thompson, and that didn't quite work out for Smith. And Smith apologises immediately and knew what he'd done.
Yeah, it was a clever kicking on side 50. Normally Glenunga would just blaze that ball up high to the top of the square, but he lowered his vision. Didn't quite come off. Just need the next goal, Glenunga, don't they? You can feel the game's just gone up a little notch here. Just need a little nerve settler, Glenunga. Keep that margin.
Ball comes back in. Down. Smith trying to twist and turn. Wasn't able to do that. Umpire says holding the footy.
Yeah, good tackle. Really good tackle there, because once he gets through Smith, he can go with speed, and he's got to do that as a forward pocket at those stoppages, but good pressure by Golden Grove.
Simon who did the tackling.
It's been good, Simon. He's had some nice moments.
He has.
And he's been under the pump too. There's been a high volume of inside 50s coming his way. I think bar that free kick he gave away in the second quarter to Opperman, he's been really, really good.
A handy addition, that's for sure, as the Footy's about to come back in. Dragakis also about to stamp his authority back on the contest too. Standing on the bench, ready to go. Meantime, returning back to the live action. Umpire says that one is going to be a ball up. He's getting off the deck again, Redmond. He's been important today, as he always is.
Yeah, I like his speed. He just gives Glenunga a little X factor, something they don't have a lot of.
So West goes inside, and speaking of X factor, there it is. Smith's just taken the grab. And he has absolutely gobbled that one up. He lines up for goal.
You're right about that X factor. This guy does have a little bit about that because of his pure speed. He hasn't really been able to get involved in the game a lot today, has he? But that's an important mark for his team. And I said just a minute ago, they need a little nerve settler here. Glenunga. Can Smith kick accurately?
Yeah, had a relatively good game last week. 2 goals, 12 disposals. But you compare that to this week, been unsighted. So we go midway in the third quarter.
Nice kick.
Well, they'll see him now because that is an absolutely brilliant goal. Able to convert, did what he needed to do for his teammates. And the Rams go to 10-5-65. Golden Grove 6-4-40, a margin now of 25 points.
Yeah, it's just an important goal for Glenunga. There's still a lot of time to go in this game, and Golden Grove are still hanging around. But if they got the next one, Golden Grove, it's back to a 2-goal ball game. They'd be feeling $1 million. So that was just an important little arm wrestle that they won. The quick kick inside 50 that Smith was able to get on the end of. When you're a small forward, Lockie, you're not always going to have high possessions, but you need to impact. And what Smith's done there is just kick the goal exactly when his team needs it. So well done to him.
Yeah, very, very important, that one there from Ethan Smith. Ball comes back down. And Cavallara's in the centre of the ground now. So the ball bounces, collected, trying to come charging through. Glenunga trying to dance step, then was, well, Eli Redmond did really well. He just ran out of room. Ball then flicked back across. Thompson towards Abe Davis, over the top of his head, and that one has gone over.
Davis trying to say he touched it so they can get the boundary throw in, but umpire having none of that. Relieving free kick, last touch. I think to Simon here in the back pocket.
Simon with the ball. What can he do? Decides to go up into a contest, and West wins out over the top of Robinson.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Robinson, but he's just got to make sure that ball comes to ground to his crummers.
West then turns, and that one, oh, in the area, it's dangerous, it's through the middle. What an absolutely brilliant goal there, and Michaelani gets the embraces.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? I've noted he's obviously got the role on Josh Glenn that we've discussed. Glenn started to get into the game in this third quarter, hasn't he? He's had 3 or 4 clearances, had a centre clearance before, starting to look dangerous, but if that job's still on, Michaelani's gone forward, and this is the contest we've been talking about. There's a big pack, there's a crumb, and Michaelani's just gone front and centre, quickly throwing it on the boot, and great steadying 2 goals for Glenunga. They're back out to 31 points. Well done, Michaelani.
Yeah, he's obviously ended up with 1 last week, 1 this week. His brother kicked his first goal in the AFL a few weeks ago, so absolutely flying at the minute. The Michaelanis, and Thomas certainly doing Glenunga fans a lot of good at the minute. Ooh, there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the centre of the ground between the 2 number 6s.
Good respect to both players there. I like Pittman as a player, give you an elbow and then say, sorry, mate, and help you up.
Footy then inside forward 50, goes Smith. Ball then flies through, still with Smith. Smith gets it across towards Pridham. Now the little kick up the line works out nicely for Butterworth. And Smith came diving over the top but left the football behind. We're going to end up with a ball up in the centre of the ground on that opposite side of the ground from us.
So Glenn comes off for a breather. Michaelani, they'll give him a breather too. So it's still the hard tag is on, Lockie.
It is indeed.
Old school, you come off, I'll come off.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. There's Redmond, little trickler. Works out okay because DeSera was able to grab it on the half volley. Will punch to the front. Well done, Cavallaro. Oh, he was chased down nearly. And that still might work out. Little hand pass went up the line, Moraney. They start to work their way through. Pridham. Still Dragakis. Dragakis has gone for home. Dragakis has got her home. Wow. That was absolutely unbelievable. 12 goals, 5. Plays 6 goals, 4. and Tregarchis unloaded a tracer.
Just gone bang, 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 Glenunga, haven't they? When I thought they were under pressure at 19 points up, and Golden Grove were coming, they've gone 3 quick goals. Tregarchis, he's had some nice moments at halfback today, hasn't he? He's had a couple of nice intercepts where he's left his man and gone. Long kick, great shepherd on the line from Abe Davis. Great goal for Glenunga and a real confidence builder for them. They're at the 37 now, Lockie. They've weathered the storm.
They have indeed. It was a storm they needed to weather, but surely from here you start to turn and think about victory. Margin of 37 points. Oh, sway out, and now Pridham should get it forward. Handball back. They still continue to just handball it around. Again, Tregarchis able to just unload and say, Footy out towards the back with Bayun. Little soccer inside. It's party time down here at Webb Oval now. Smith gets past one. Snaps it. Goal. Can Davis get another? Ball falls down. Was he infringed? He was.
Paid the hold right on the goal line there. Might have a tricky angle here, the big fella. Feel sorry for Ingram. He's been under the pump under those high balls at full back all day, hasn't he? Having to contend with Davis and Wonky and, stuck in one-on-one, call it the cage. Not much he did wrong there. Umpire's given Davis the free kick, lining up for his third. The big fella hasn't had a huge day, but he certainly had more of an impact, hasn't he, Lockie? Yeah. Lining up for his third.
Let's see what he does. Abe Davis snaps and converts. And Glenunga are absolutely loving life back at Webb Oval. 13-5, 83 plays 6-4-40. It is a 43-point ball game, and Abe Davis says, turn it up.
Yeah, simple shot for goal there in the end. An experienced player just took his time, gathered his breath, and all he had to do was step out on his left. Even if you miss kick it, it might go through. So it's an easy left foot shot for a player of his quality. Like I said, Davis, he's not quite at his best, is he? But what he's doing is he's a hard matchup at the top of the square. And if Glenunga play this type of football and get the ball into him one-on-one, he's going to kick his 3 and 4 goals, isn't he? So might be a little sneaky return to form for Abe Davis. Wonky in the ruck now.
Well, Wonky is going to get the ruck tap and the first disposal of this passage of play as Glenunga continue to do exactly what they like. Bayun then flicked it back. Smith off a step. Where's Davis when you need him? Ball falls down. Smith, and that one ends up over.
Just got their mojo back real quick, didn't they, Glenunga? Like I said, just for 5 or 6 minutes, Golden Grove just looked like they were edging back into the contest, looked dangerous inside 50, but again, Glenunga out dominating the inside 50s. They've had 12-6, and they've just pulled on 4 quick goals, and it looks like it might be a bridge too far now for Golden Grove. You just need to hang in there. Like I said, you've got no football next week. You don't want to go in with a big defeat with 2 weeks off.
Yeah, it's a long time to stew on it as the footy works its way for Wonky, and, well, Golden Grove, smart decision to just work that one over the line. A margin of 6-5-41, plays 13-5, 83. Of course, Kieran Hayu Ketsu scoreboard, an 42-point ball game. A margin that none of us saw coming into this one. If you'd asked us what was more likely, Glenunga winning a thumping or Golden Grove in a thumping, you would have said it should have gone the way of the Kookaburras. The kick then works its way inboard, finds Thompson. Then out towards the outer side. Footy in, ball to the back. Simon's been a shining light out there for Golden Grove. Pittman finds the escape. And they go up the line for Slater. Slater then takes a mark and turns and kicks it across the ground. Put his teammate in a little bit of drama. DeSera's there. He's quick and he's dangerous. He's going to get the footy back. He's going to kick on goal and he's going to get it touched. Ooh. Oh, and Wonky, well, hopefully he's okay because he's just ran right into the post then.
That's precisely the reason they put padding on those posts, because he would not be in a good way if it wasn't, albeit he's still a little bit sore. The padding doing its job there. But yeah, Glenunga right on top now. A lot of pressure, a lot of forward half turnovers.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shock to the system. That'd be for sure. But the padding did absorb a lot of that shock for him. He now works his way out. Banwell, then hand passes across, and that kick has found. It's probably what are they? One and a half kicks from home now. Golden Grove, Footy kicks back in. Glenn. Hand passes back out. Pittman. Then back across. Collins. Worked the ball inside. That was clever. Robinson gave it off, and the snap on goal has missed.
Went via the Cape, didn't they? They were from one side of the ground to the other. Kept winning the contest. Would have been a good goal if he'd finished it. Just would have kept a pulse for Golden Grove, but albeit a minor score. They're going to go long and strong here, Glenunga. I'd be getting some numbers to that contest around West and winning this ball. Otherwise, I'll go coast to coast again.
Yeah, Dobie, he was the kicker in the end, but it didn't quite work out for him. Temi. Absolute general of that defensive line. Had some reinforcements back in there this week with Smith returning. Haven't minded his game. I thought he was good in the first half and has certainly played his role and kept his spot in the team.
Yeah, it's worked well for Glenunga with Zach Smith back in the team. Temi can lock down and then Zach Smith can come across and intercept. They look much more 2024 like, don't they, Lockie?
I mean, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. He's just kicked that football. He's had about 2 touches in the last sort of 5 seconds of play. Butterworth this time. Up the line. Oh, there's a big fly. There was a massive fly. Wonky certainly not feeling any effects from hitting the post. Just wasn't able to quite grab that. That would have been an absolute screamer. Would have capped off Glenunga's day quite nicely. Ball comes back in. Throwing back in. West. Big fist away. Fired back. Still a little soccer along the ground. No one able to quite grab it cleanly. Umpire blew a whistle. And it is now working back towards Parsons. Parsons thinking about it and then decides inside forward 50 is where I'll go. Over the top. Wonky turning. Handball back across. Snap from Smith. Oh, they are having a party. It is an absolute rampage at Webb Oval. And now it is 14-5 plays 6-5, and this one's got all the makings of upwards of 10 goals.
Yeah, he called it. It just, in a blink of an eye, it's just turned, hasn't it? Now the party tricks are coming out. Looked like the ball was going to go out of bounds. Wonky kept it in. And Smith, who's been quiet, now he's got 2 goals. Contender for a play of the day with a beautiful left foot snap. Yeah,
that was crisp to watch. And that was on the Dartfish, of course. Kieran Hayuketsu bringing us a scoreboard as they do each and every week. A margin now of 14-5 plays 6-5. There seems to be some discrepancy between our scoreboard and the scoreboard at the ground. Ball about to go back up again. Margin by our count of, at least, we'll split the difference here, 59 points. Or 49 points, sorry. 50 points even, there we go. Ball now as it gets towards half forward, and there's a long footy inside. Well, then bounces, collected. Oh, well, Golden Grove, they're needing several numbers just to get the footy out of here, and they decide to get it behind. That, well, Hable may have had other options, but he's done well enough.
Just disguised it well enough, you reckon?
Yeah, just well enough. Umpire gave him potentially the benefit of the doubt. Collins was there when the ball fell down, returning the action at half back. He then kicks across and finds Dobie. And Blades is in a little bit of trouble as well, hobbling along. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Meantime, Dobie decides to go up the line. And it's going to be wrapped up pretty comfortably here in the end from Pascoe, making sure his opponent ends up going nowhere. And Blades still hobbling around out there, and he's been told, get to the bench. So he'll come off now. Footy works its way towards the outer side. Well, the near side, sorry, for us. And that one is gonna, will nearly end up going over, but Carl oversee to stop that. And then Faye got the footy cleared up. Bouncing ball. Big contest there. Might go the way of Glenunga, as a lot of them have all day. Bayun was clever enough to win himself a high tackle. And he then finds it across. And still they wait. So a kick came from Butterworth up the ground, and that's a great grab too. It is with Opperman. What can Opperman do on the 3/4 time siren? He's going to have to kick it all of 50 metres. He's already got himself 1 today. Does he get a second at 3/4 time?
Oh, he'd be pretty happy. He gets to have a ping at it. Tough kick from 50 out on that angle. He's got all the Glenunga B graders there giving him a bit of advice. I'm sure he'd be pretty happy to kick it and turn to them. Let's see what he can do.
Margin of 50 even would be 56 if he kicks it. Plenty of advice coming from those B graders. Kick from outside 50. It's looking good. There's screams of joy. The loudest of which will be coming from Opperman. What a goal that was. 15-7. Plays 6-5. And that is a 56-point lead to Glenunga at three-quarter time. Have a look at this on the dartfish. Absolutely brilliant kick. They've all gotten to him.
That's a brilliant set shot from 52 with everyone looking at you. He's a confident player, Opperman. He would have enjoyed that moment. Well done to him. Great kick. Well done to Glenunga. Great quarter of footy.
It absolutely was. It looked like it was going to go the way of Golden Grove for a little bit, but the Rams, they went to work and they are absolutely loving it at the minute. We'll see you for the last quarter in a few moments' time.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again.
It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
Well, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Webb Oval is the venue, and it has been the home side who have come here and shocked just about everybody. They lead this one 15-7, 97 to Golden Grove 6-5, 41. It has been a bloodbath, and it started in that third quarter.
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes into that quarter, Lockie, we called it. Golden Grove had kicked the first two. They kicked 2-3 to nothing. It was only a 19-point margin. It was 59 to 40, and then Glenunga have kicked 6 goals in the last 15-20 minutes of that quarter, just out of nowhere, just going back to what worked for them. So it's a real tough spot for Golden Grove here now. You know you've been outplayed. It's a dirty day. You're away from home. You've got no game next week. You've got to find something just to get yourself going. And what they need to do is just find a little bit of confidence from maybe someone like a Verity to kick 2 or 3 goals in this last quarter. I'll be leaving that forward structure there, but I thought it was smart coaching with what he changed, but the problem is he just didn't get enough entries. He just didn't win enough contests. Again, Glenunga, no doubt they had done a bit of soul searching this week, Lockie, and they've just gone back to what works for them. This is what works for us. Let's do that, and let's do it well. And they certainly have looked like a Glenunga 2024 team today. And that team, Lockie, if they get on a roll, can do some damage. So, yeah, there'll be a little bit of junk time in this last quarter, but there's always something to play for. Like I said, Glenunga, they won't take their foot off the pedal. They're trying to build habits for the rest of the season now. And Golden Grove will just want a wavy win this last quarter just to take something into the bye week with the June break next week. So you can see the coach quite animated there. He'd be a little bit disappointed. He knows that he can't turn it around. He'd just be asking for his players just to lift, win some contests, win this last quarter of football, take something away from this match. But yeah, it was a bit of a highlight reel as well, wasn't it, for Glenunga? They're not known for that. They're normally just known for winning the contest and doing the basics. But we saw some absolutely amazing goals by Smith, by Trigarkas, by Malkalani, by Opperman on the siren, which was an absolutely magnificent set shot. And you can see the big huddle. And they seem to have got their mojo back today, Glenunga, don't they? So look out to the competition. If they can go on and get a barnstorming win here, they will be feeling $1 million. Not sure who they play first game up after the break, but we said that they might have been in a relegation battle. They'd be eyeing off finals if they can get this big win and then take it into the break.
If there's one team that can go and get on a roll, Glenunga are certainly that. They are a rampaging unit when they are at their best, and Glenunga, they'll be delighted right now, but they've still got a quarter of footy to go, and they really cannot let up.
Yeah, we don't want to look too far forward, do they? They play Broadview after the break as well, Glenunga, so this is a big one for them, isn't it? Get the big win, get some injuries right over the break. The other tough one in these quarters of football as well, Lockie, is you want to play the game out, but the last thing you want to do is get an injury to a key player as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 10 minutes into this last quarter, Davis comes to the bench. I'd be looking after the big fella. The last thing you want is for him to get a knock. The less minutes he plays, he gets a week off next week, he'll be feeling fresh going into the Broadview game the week after the bye.
Do you expect to see Golden Grove do something similar with a Pittman or a Glen?
Nah, they've gone with their usual on-ball brigade. Like I said, it's a tough one. Like I said, I've been calling for Glenn to maybe play inside 50, but the ball hasn't gone down there enough for him to be dangerous doing that. As we see, looks like they do have one player wrapped up for the day. Is that Blades? Is that we did see him hobble off, so it looks like he's got a little bit of a knock to the knee in that contest in front of us late in the quarter. So I dare say his day will be done.
Yeah, not a bad day at the office from him though. Played his role, and he'll be wrapped up for this last quarter. But we are underway for this last quarter, and Glenn just comes storming and puts it inside forward 50. It'll sit, no one able to quite grab it as Pascoe escorts it over the line.
See, Michael Laney's still staying with Glenn, so what Glenunga will look to do is just keep that habit. So they started with what they wanted to do. You can easily drop a tag when you're nearly 10 goals up, but they're going to keep rolling with it. But I'll give Josh Glenn credit as well. I reckon he's worked really hard to try and break free. It's been a really good matchup.
Yeah, it has, and Michael Annie has done a really good job as well. Certainly won the contest, but Josh Glenn won't have his colours lowered. This ball works its way towards the Sarah. Here's then Soccer works out for Pridham, and Pridham gives it across towards Smith. And still they fight hands and knees. Footy flicked up. Inside forward 50. Play on's the call. Twisting and getting it inside. And that one's going to be a high tackle. That one, yeah, not a great effort there, as it's going to end up in the hands of Wonky. Then works it up. Big pack forms. Smith then goes. And that is a little circler as Redmond picks it up. Then comes drifting through, trying to turn, get it out towards the outer side, and they do just that. Inside forward 50 is where it goes. Glenunga have worked it forward through Marini.
It looked like Marini was sore in that third quarter and he wasn't going to reappear, but when you're 9 goals up, you may as well go inside 50 and take a mark. And this guy is a really nice kick of the ball. He'll be pretty happy to have a set shot from about 45 metres.
Yeah, Marini, he's an excellent kick of the footy. Let's see what he's able to do. So he just walks his way in from outside 50. Do the highlights keep rolling? That one's only a minor score. Now it is 5-8, plays 6-5. A margin of 57 points on the Kieran Hayuketsu scoreboard. So it ends up back down for Golden Grove. Pittman, a long kick and a great mark as well taken by Smith at the back. Smith turns and puts it in to the dangerous area and at the front, an absolutely ripping mark for Opperman.
He'll be feeling pretty good after that set shot, won't he, on the three-quarter time. He hasn't had a lot of disposals today, but he's lining up for his third. And when you're playing as almost a full forward, second tall forward like he is, you don't have to have huge disposals. You just need to make a contest, kick accurately when it's your turn, and if he can kick his third here, he's had a pretty good day.
Opperman almost lining up here. He's going to kick, said, from around about that 40-metre mark, and he just lets it drift back and sends it over the top of the goal umpire. He's had a really good day, Opperman, and they are starting to embrace him now. He gets the first of the last quarter, a margin of 16-8 now. They are all over the top of them, a plus 10 goal advantage.
Yeah, sorry to say, Lockie, we might have a little bit of junk time here. There's no real sting in this match now with that margin, is there? Like I said, players, half of them are probably getting to playing the Bali next week. You don't want to cop a knock now, do you? So we might keep an eye on the scores at the other grounds as well. Some good games of footy. We'll call this one to the end. But, yeah, Glenunga, we can't say it enough, really. They have put on a vintage display today.
Yeah, they have. They've been really, really good. And it's Glenunga again. Get it inside forward 50. That's going to be a free kick.
Umpires paid a push there. Feel sorry for some of the Golden Grove, tall defenders. We've spoken about Simon. I think he's actually tried his guts out today, but just the weight of numbers and the high balls coming in all day. It's hard work, just defending. We've seen the same with Ingram as well. They've been in so many contests. Thatcher, they've had a lot of work to do today. And like I said, Opperman now, after a quiet start to the day, is lining up for his fourth.
Opperman approaches, and should be no dramas from here for him. Kicks it, and he's got another. No, it's hit the post. A margin of 16-9 plays 6-5, so it is back out to a 64-point ball game. And it is the highest it's been all day. Golden Grove looking to bring it back into play. And they are now away. Down the outer side, and footy bounces collected. Simon, away from his usual post. Collins wrapped up. Umpire says that's going to be my footy. No, sorry, umpire says that's going to be Ethan Smith's footy. Smith then goes inside forward 50, and that one has ended up in the hands of Robinson. Then kicks towards Ingram. Ingram takes a mark. Turns, hand passes across. Banwell. Then it's inside for Pittman. Then they start to fire back. That was an excellent tackle. Eli Redmond wrapped him up.
His tackling's been a real feature today, hasn't he? He's had 2 or 3 rundowns. He's got amazing speed and X-Factor, Redmond. I think he's a great addition to their team.
So Smith, speaking of speed, he's off as well. Turns and gets it in towards his forwards, and that one intercepted. Great mark. Golden Grove. Kick for Thatcher. And Thatcher's kick finds Glenn. Cavallio. And that one's ended up over the top of the head of its intended target, Pridham. This ball gets fired back from where it came on the wing. Through, and that one is some contact there. Banwell's slow to get back to his feet, but he's going to end up with the footy. Of course, that's Jed. Brother Jack does some great work. He'll be joining me on Between the Posts tomorrow. Well, tomorrow it's filmed and comes up in the week. Footy is up, and here we go. Long kick from Ingram offline. Wildly offline, unfortunately, there. Tried to light up the display.
Yeah, he's been stuck in the cage at full back a lot today, Ingram, so he just drifted forward on that occasion, got a bit excited, just hit the side of the boot. Out of bounds. Back it'll come in for Glenunga.
Temi kicked it in that back pocket. Then found his teammate in Tregarkis. Tregarkis ended up with the ball. Tregarkis then turns and flicks it back to where it came in Temi. So those two just trying to stat pat in the minute for some fantasy points.
Division 1 fantasy, they should bring it in, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
With all the stats that Dartfish have, it could be a thing that's done.
There you go. $1 million idea from Adam Jeffries. Across to Redmond, and yes, we will be requesting a cut of that. Redmond with plenty of options. And turns it up the line. It goes towards West. Ball comes down. Ingram turning, dancing. Banwell. He might pick it up. He does just that. Snaps back out. Couple of contests and Redden was closing quickly. You know, that's a problem. Dodd, he ends up with the ball in the meantime. Ball up for Pascoe. Pascoe then runs back off the mark and says, well, if everyone else can kick one from outside 50, it'd be rude of me not to give it a go.
Oh, he'll certainly have a go here. It's normally a pretty thumping kick. Tricky shot for goal. He's kicked 3 Pascoe. Like I said, they haven't had a lot of inside 50s today. He's had a pretty serviceable day.
Well, it's been Verity, Cavallaro, Horskins and Pascoe who have ended up with goals. Pascoe the only multiple goal kicker. Kicks on its way. Shaping back, and that has just missed. 6-6 plays 16-10. I tell you what, he's got a really, really big kick on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's outside 50 there. He just really had to push to get that extra bit of distance. Just pulled it slightly left.
Speaking of big kicks, there's one right in front of our commentary position. Ball comes down, collected, kicked off, and someone's going to be dragged back. Ends up in the hands of Simon. So he won himself a free kick. Backs back quickly. And he decides the kick inside forward 50 is where he'll go, but West chops it off. West then turns outer side, is where Glenunga will decide to play their footy. Temi. He always seems to be involved in anything good Glenunga do, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's had a good day today, but probably throw a blanket over a lot of the Glenunga players. They've been back to their best today, haven't they? When everyone plays their role, it makes your job easier, and yeah, everyone's done their bit today for Glenunga.
Well, it makes our job harder in deciding on who we're going to go with best team man, and obviously the awards afterwards as well.
Have we got any one from the losing team today, Lockie?
I
don't think so.
I think we can categorically rule out a Golden Grove player getting involved.
Yeah, they've been dominant today. 64-point margin. This is a team that won one game before today. So, yeah, a bit of a turn-up, even though it's here at Webb Oval. We weren't expecting this. We see a big fly there from one kid. It might have gone a bit early. Free kick to the Golden Grove player underneath that pack. Might have a bit of a damaged shoulder there as well. It's not nice late in the game.
Yeah, no. Hobbling along. And hopefully he's okay, because the last thing we need here with the game being gone is an injury. Thatcher's going to give the footy back to Dobie. And he then kicks and ends up towards Verity. Verity, though, loses out. Carlo Vasitas, and he's off to the races. He doesn't need a second invitation to go for a little bit of a run. And there's a great mark to Thatcher. Thatcher at the intercept. Back across. Horskins. He then turns and gets a nice mark out towards Robinson. Robinson, Dobie. Dobie. And towards Pittman. Pittman. Sends it inside forward 50. Finally end up pulling the trigger. Did Slater take a mark? No. Ends up going the other. Ooh.
Umpires paid it to Slater. Got a little clunk on it early, but I'm not sure he took enough to get a mark. I would have been balling that up. A little bit of luck there to Slater.
Well, it's one thing Golden Grove haven't had all day. And let's see if Slade... And there is 4 for Pascoe. Doesn't quite stack up to the 9 he had last week. And 8-6. Plays 16-10.
Yeah, I said 4 goals for the full forward today. He's had a pretty solid day. Been a lot of contest. Wouldn't say he's been dominant against Temmie. I think Temmie's held his own with the amount of ball that goes towards Pascoe, but yeah, he's going to be the target a lot for them going inside 50.
The umpire says that one is going to be a free kick. A little bit of a free kick that ends up in the hands of Golden Grove. So Golden Grove, they're finishing well here as Pittman just walks his way inside forward 50, and the kick ends up out towards Verity. No one on the mark. Verity kicks a goal. And the margin back at 46 points.
Yeah, it's obviously junk time goals for Golden Grove, but Glenunga won't want to finish this way, will they? You can see they're getting a little bit frustrated on the bench that, you know, the sting's going out of this game, and Golden Grove have been able to walk out and kick some goals, you know, with no pressure on. So they want to keep their habits going that they've built. We saw last year when they were in these positions, they never let up. They kept the foot on the throat. They kept going. Verity's had a pretty quiet day, hasn't he? But he's kicked 2 goals in this second half. So a little something on the scoreboard for him.
No, will correct myself. Kieran Hayuketsu's scoreboard now reads 40.1610, plays 10-6. Back in the centre, Webb Oval. Pretty flicked up west. Then they should get it out. And they nearly do. Moraine. So he decides to go wider still. And at half back, mark has been taken. And it's Dragakis. Dragakis, that booming goal really kind of started the Glenunga party in that third quarter. But it's probably too far for, it's definitely too far for him to score there. So the ball meantime comes charging through. Kick on its way, and across the face can Pascoe get there. It ends up over and out, and Temmie will gladly take the disposal. As we tick down, it's going to be behind as well. So 10-8 plays 16-10. Over who the awards are going to go to is, it looks like
Simon. Simon.
Yeah.
I said, when you've got the Holiday to Bali book, not what you want is a big one in the guts. I said he's tried hard on the fullback line today under a lot of pressure. Let's hope he's just winded and he's all right. Looks like he's okay.
Walks himself away. Ball goes up meantime. Slap back down. Should work it out towards the outer side. Big kick came from Faye.
Today, Pittman.
And you have to sit there as well, because if you don't,
you've got no choice.
Yeah.
And he's a tough nut, Pittman. He'll be shaking that off.
39-point ball game. 2 points definitely going to stay here at Webb Oval. Glenunga add to the 2 they collected at Ross Trevor back in round 2. So the ball comes back. Fired nearly. That one's going to be a ball up. It's been a really good performance from Glenunga. It's been shades what we saw in 23, shades what we saw in 24. But the performance itself, it gives Alex Guy a lot to work off when we come back from the June break. We'll see Adelaide Footy League not on next weekend, but plenty of action coming up in round 8 in 2 weeks' time. Meantime, they scrap and they fight, and the ball gets towards Smith. Smith gets tackled. It's Cavallaro that was there. Little kick from Carlo Vasitas. He set it up. Will hit the legs of Redmond, and then Pilkington was caught without the ball.
That happened right in front of us.
Yeah.
Cavallaro might be in a bit of trouble there. That was a pretty decent clash of heads, and Smith's gotten up. He's a little bit sore, but Cavallaro is a tough nut. He wanted to get the handball received, but I think he probably needs to get off and get a little head injury assessment there, because that was a heavy collision. We was calling it junk time, weren't we, Lockie? We've had 3 or 4 big collisions late in this game.
They're certainly making sure they're going to feel it when they get out of bed tomorrow morning. Meantime, Banwell flicks it across at the back. And it does end up in the hands of Hable. Hable then turns. And it is going to end up staying in for Opperman. Opperman's little dribbler towards the line. It was stopped and collected. Now the kick out, and a great mark taken as well at the back. Ends up in the hands of Scott. Scott then flicks it back across from where it came. Pridham then flicks it across. Carlo Vasitas, turning and twisting and able to get the footy forward. As there's a fly at the back, and that should work out Bayun. Bayun then flicks it back. Still, they're turning and they're twisting Glenunga, and they're trying to get another goal. Faye had to fire it back. They get there eventually. Great work, team goal. And that is a really, really good effort.
It was Parsons in the end, got the easy snap.
It was Parsons who did get that snap. The game well and truly gone, but Parsons adding a little bit of cream to a lovely Glenunga cake.
Yeah, this will be a great confidence builder for them, won't it? Like I said, they've gone back. We'll see Cavallaro there. He's a tough hombre because that was a big hit, but he's up and he looks okay, which is good to see. I don't think you'll see him back on the ground to finish this game. There's only a couple of minutes to go.
Back in the centre we go. What's the Adelaide Footy League BTR Excavations Division 1 with the Rams about to have a big win up against Golden Grove. As Adam Jeffries is going to go interview his award winners. Who they are, only he knows. I don't know anyway, and I purposely keep it that way. Footy now inside for Slater. Still rolls. It's collected and fired back from where it came. Pascoe turning and twisting, and Carlo Vasitas able to take a good mark. Carlo Vasitas. West. And that one goes over. It's going to be thrown back in, and as we wait for that full-time siren so that Glenunga can well and truly enjoy the spoils of victory. Golden Grove will have 2 weeks to think about this performance. They'll be happier with how it ended, but a little bit more disappointed in the end. The ball works its way towards the ground. It's going to be a ball up. West slapped it. Faye. And Faye turns up the line. Ingram bouncing after it. He's able to get it, and that one is over and out. Waiting for it to come back in. It's the Rams' first win at home this season. It was vital they got this eventually heading their way, and they have now. Glenn fired it across to Slater. Slater was able to put his foot through that one and get it towards Pascoe, who's hanging out on the wing. Still they track after it. Turning and able to get the hand pass across as the ball rolls. Simon back in, and that is going to be a ball up. Plenty of Jeffries goes and collects his award winners. With plenty of embraces, Glenunga, they'll feel a lot of relief. Both teams tried hard. I think Golden Grove had their moments in this contest as well. There were certainly times where they were on top. You saw that flurry of goals at the end. The game was gone by that point. They had that moment in the third quarter where they were able to cut the margin back to 19. But then it was Tragakis' goal that started it, and it started to fire up as well. Lockie Pascoe, he'll be delighted. Third far too strong in the end as the Rams of 2024 and the Rams of 2023 started to unfold in front of us. They stopped switching the play. They stopped messing about with it, which has been their struggle, I guess, across the first 5 rounds of the season or 6 rounds of the season. And they find their way back onto the winners list. Plenty of embrace, plenty of happiness as we wait for Adam Jeffries to grab his award winners. Abe Davis, is he back? 3 goals today, full forward. The rest of the Glenunga hub waiting for them as Webb Oval is back. The fortress potentially retaken. As we're going to throw down now to Adam Jeffries' boundary side.
On here, boundary side. Don't know what happened today. Old school Glenunga thought it was 2024 again. They were back. Running goal in the third quarter that got his team going after they got a little bit of a comeback happening in Golden Grove, and our best team man is Tom Michaelani for the tagging role on Josh Glenn, and not just that, and the goal he kicked in the third quarter. Tell us about the role when the coach tell you what you're going to be doing, and tell us about the goal in the third.
Well, he gave me a call last night and said I had the job at number 5, and obviously he was a pretty handy player and definitely had my work cut out for me today. So I just try to keep my head down and try to do my job as best as possible. So pretty happy with the result too. It's the first win for me this year, so happy to be a part of it.
No, you played really well in that goal as well. When you're a tagger and you get a goal, how good. But Glenn got he had a few moments as well. But went on to you. I thought that was a great team effort by you, setting the tone for your team. Now, Zach, talk to us. You're one of my favourite players, I won't lie. Missed last week. Now we're back with Temi locking down and you were able to sweep and intercept. Tell us about today's game and why you guys were able to make such a big comeback.
We've just been going to work, really. We haven't really been smashed in any games yet. We've been in there, but just going to the well and working for each other and remembering what it's like to play good footy and also get wins. So now that we got that feeling, I think it'll be good we can go on from here and grab some momentum.
No, they certainly look better with Zach back in the team and onto him. And James, tell us about the goal. It was pretty special. Come on, don't give us a cliche answer here. Don't give us, structures and teammates. Tell us, it was a damn good goal.
Just came off the boot nicely. It was a bit of luck, but credit to Abe, he shepherded it through. Got boys working for each other, and it just came off nicely. I just kicked it long and high, and then just went in, so it was nice.
Well done. It was a cracking goal, the intercept, and just as when his team needed as well. But on a serious note, well done to Glenunga. It's been a tough season for them, but I thought they got their mojo back. Seemed to just go back to what works for them, their DNA contest, and they won today very easily. Conceded a couple of junk time goals. I know you weren't happy with that, Zach, but other than that, big win for Glenunga. We'll let these boys go celebrate. Back to the combox. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, we go. A massive congratulations to our award winners there as we watch them. As we go back to the highlights, and there was Lockie Pascoe kicking through his goal. Absolutely delivered a traceable and just put it almost to the hills in the background. It's that far. Pilkington, this was when Golden Grove were having a great run on. Pascoe was a massive part of that. Got a holding free kick there. Smith thought he was going to add another disposal to his day. It wasn't quite to be. It was a very interesting interview listening as well as Adam Jeffries waltzes back into the commentary box. And just having a look at the highlights. Sarah was his goal, able to trickle it through. What were your thoughts speaking to the lads out there?
Yeah, they're pretty relieved, I think. Has been a tough season. You know, they've been the best team in the competition the last 2 seasons, haven't they? And it's been a tough road for them. Sitting at 1 and 5, they wouldn't have known what to do. The boys didn't want to admit it, but I got no doubt that they goals in that third quarter, didn't we? But I thought Tragakis' goal was crucial for his team. I just think when Zach Smith plays like that, they're going to be hard to beat, aren't they? I just like him as a player. He's so versatile. He's a long kick. He plays on talls and smalls. And I thought Josh Glenn worked hard with the tag, but I thought Michael Annie set the tone for his team today as well. So I gave him the best team man voucher. He'll be pretty happy to head to the Moseley during the week. So well done to those 3 boys. Hopefully they were good interviews down on the ground. And won, but yeah, they'll be. I said you're probably going to have to win 5 or 6 games to avoid that 9th spot on the ladder. So they're well on the way to doing that. So they get their 3rd win against Broadview after that.
Yeah, certainly. As we have a look at another goal going through, that was an absolutely brilliant kick. Wonky was the player that delivered on that occasion. And then this was a goal from Thompson. Now, the way the players responded, there's the potential this was his first goal.
Yeah, I think they were happy as well. He's a long kick of the football, and he cleared the line beautifully there from about 52 out, up the hill as well. You normally see the ball travel a little bit further to the left of the screen, but good set shot for him. So, yeah, once Glenunga got their game style going, then when they got the contested marks and the conversion, didn't they, Lockie? They had some nice long set shots that converted. Whereas last week, what did we see them kick 7 goals something or other, like they weren't able to convert in the windy conditions at Port Districts last week. Today, a still day. They took some contested marks and they were able to kick some nice long goals.
Yeah, they were having a look against